love small talk.
Oh, me too, dude. That's how I get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling, man.
Both wide.
So, what have you been up to?
Dude, just this podcast, dude. I'm gonna be number one.
Number one?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
He's coming for you?
I'm coming for you, dude. I just gotta shave my head.
You got your apple juice?
Nah, not
He
apple
always
juice.
drinks apple juice during the podcast.
Oh yeah, apple juice, right?
Yeah, whatever he calls it.
Yeah, wish you got some BCAs in there or something.
Got some Crystal Light.
Some Crystal Light.
So I know I'm getting old.
Crystal Light and mix
Yeah.
it with that super green stuff. You ever do that?
Ugh, dude, no.
That shit's gross.
I'm out, man.
You're out?
Nope.
Hell yeah.
I am not in, dude. I haven't been in. Because the only place that sells that's what, S2?
I don't know. I kind of got on the trend for a little bit. But the thing is, I like to eat vegetables, so I guess I don't really need to, I guess. But I don't know. I got on that trend for a minute because I was like, yeah, whatever, can't hurt. Let's see what it does. You know what I mean? I guess it's the same fucking whatever. I don't see a difference or whatever. You know, I eat like shit anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I think for it to work, you have to have a mullet.
Right.
I think that's the consensus.
I think that is it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, with the mullet.
Dude, introduce yourself, man.
Oh, what's up? Okay, so my name's Micah. Known Luke here for a little while now.
Yeah, for a little bit.
He asked me to come on, and as a courtesy, I said, yes, I will. I'm really excited to be here.
You sound enthusiastic.
Dude, I'm pumped, man.
Dude, I'm pumped because
anything's on the table.
Dude, well, I wanted to talk about well, are you still doing? Oh, obviously you're still doing bodybuilding, right? Are you getting?
Yeah. I'm coming back right now. I took some time off when I had my baby girl.
Right. Oh yeah, I was about to say congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, she's almost a year and a half old now. It's crazy, but I took like a year off and I got just fat as shit and.
You look good now, dude.
Whew, I still got a little fupa, like a pregnancy belly.
Dude. That's why I wore this. I'll be embarrassed if I take this off, man. I've been lifting hella, lifting heavy, but it's the eating, man. This is my big thing. I'll eat good for like 2 weeks, and then I get the compliments. You know, because guys who are short like us, I feel like I see the results quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I get the, oh, bro, you're looking good, and then I'm like, well, fuck, now I gotta eat like 12 donuts now. You know?
Yeah, dude, it's your calling, man.
Right, exactly. What's it called? Okay, so you were on Generation Iron too, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
I was about to say, I remember that, because you were like one of the youngest people to compete, right?
Well, I was 18
time?
in that video.
Right.
And what I had decided that I was gonna do, and I didn't know they were filming it or anything. I didn't even know it was a thing. Is I'm like, okay, right now I'm super poor, but I have enough money. If I fly out to LA, I can go to this expo and I can meet all the people I want to meet.
Right.
So I put all my money together, and just like bought a plane ticket and went with a couple people I knew. Right. And I ended up going to this expo. And I got in for free. And I met, like, Rich Piano was my guy, man. Like, that's, like, the whole reason, like, I found, like, because basically, short backstory, I won't off track too much. But I was, I played football when I lived in California and stuff, and I had a lot of, like, I had some scholarship offers D1, and then my dad's a drug lord and a pimp. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't do this now.
Right.
And so in the meantime, while I was saving up money to take care of my little brother, I found Rich Piano on YouTube. Right. He's like, he made me want to do like be a bodybuilder. Like, he's like that was my guy. And so I go to this expo and I meet him, and like my whole life changed in one day.
Right.
It was nuts. I walk in, there he is. He brings me over. He takes a couple shots, puts me behind the ropes with the whole team, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool.
But you were like fucking jacked at the time, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was pretty big for an 18-year-old. I was getting, and that's what kind of like he was asking me about. Rich put me back behind this. He's like, okay, so more or less, you know, what are you doing? Because you're 18 years old. You got, you know, close to 20-inch arms, and like you look phenomenal.
Right.
And he put me on, man. He got me in Generation Iron 2. He took me out to dinner with the team. I got to have dinner with Rich Piana.
Dude, that's crazy.
I got to go work out with Rich Piana the same night. It was awesome.
Dude, that's like a kid in the candy shop, man.
Dude, it was crazy. It was nuts. And you know what? Yeah, it was rough. Like, cause like right after that happened, he died right after.
Right. Yeah, that was rough, dude. Cause like I remember watching guys like him and CT and stuff like that. What got me into lifting was always my dad was a bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you remind me of him a lot. Like short, fucking wide.
Yeah.
And but
girthy.
Yeah, girthy. Yeah. That's how they like it. And just like even seeing like your early, you at 18 bodybuilding pictures and stuff, reminds me just like my dad, dude. But yeah, my dad got me into lifting. I never really ever thought about bodybuilding because like I just eat like a fucking idiot. But no, that's definitely what got me in. But then watching those guys, obviously, as I got older, when he died, I was like, God damn! I was like, son of a bitch, because he was just like, and he just made it interesting. It was funny. Was a cool dude.
Yeah, dude. He was like, it was crazy because he has his brand, which is 5%, but like he was the movement.
Right.
Like the brand itself was kind of cool, and the supplements were a way for him to like, I guess, market like his personality. Because it was like totally reversed, but he made what that company was. Now he's gone. It's under.
Yeah, I don't really see.
Crapper,
I don't ever see it as often at all. I mean, there's a few brands that I see kind of like on the come up and stuff like that. So what kind of like protein and shit are you taking?
Oh, I don't take protein.
Really?
I don't know. I don't like it that much. To be honest, it's kind of chalky. And I always have to take a dump after I drink it.
Right.
So I just like, I found one that I like, and so I kind of take some here and there. But I'm just like, I prefer to eat my protein.
Right.
I'm very big on like eating as much food as you can.
Right.
Because even though that whey protein digests like really well, and there's some science behind like the fact that it works and it's it's useful. Like the enzymes that you get and build from actually chewing your food is just something that you retain better. And I feel like I'm fuller and harder when I eat food.
Right, for sure. So you don't ever do no fasting or anything like that?
I'm kind of am right now because I'm trying to get rid of this little pouch my dad bought, my remainder. But like it's nothing like 8 hours a day. I don't do like the whole intermittent fasting thing.
Right.
I've done it, but I didn't like it. Like
Really?
It worked and it served a purpose, but it didn't work as good as consistently eating my food because I didn't feel like my metabolism was getting enough activity
For sure.
to continue to burn in excess of that calorie deficit.
Right, for sure. Last, or I guess 2 years ago, I found that too because I was not really lifting. I kind of was like, I just was kind of stopped, but I was eating consistent meals and really clean, tracking my calories and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And like I lost I probably was like 180. I have not been 180 in forever.
What?
Like 183, 185 around. If I took a shit, I was probably like 182.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, so I was
1
like,
pound
holy
pooper.
shit. Yeah, 1 pound pooper. But I was like, holy shit. Literally. But I fucking started lifting again, and then I got back up to like 190, and I was like, then after that I kept hearing the fucking compliments. Oh, dude, you look good at 190, bro. Then I started eating my ass off. And
Krispy Kreme will get you.
Yeah, dude, now I'm back to like 220, like being a fat ass again. But I will say, when I was lifting in high school, I felt like I was a lot stronger when I fasted for some weird reason. Like on the days that versus I ate before, or like ate breakfast and lunch and maybe a meal before, maybe not. But like when I was fasting, I always felt like I was stronger for some weird reason. And I still feel like that now if I fast, because I do like fasting. It's not like obviously like I'm trying to, like I said, trying to get rid of the fupa as well.
Yeah, you're not, Mahatma Gandhi.
Right, yeah, no kidding. But it's like, I don't know. I enjoy it. Like there's something about it. Like it's almost like okay, I can go this many hours. Okay, now I want to go this many hours. I want to go this many hours.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Yeah, it's like a punishment. It's a challenge. I really enjoy it more than just like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight for it. Like, because like I said, I've found that consistent meals
Yeah.
will make me lose weight better than the fasting. Now, fasting and like mixed with my lifting, I for some weird reason I find that I don't know. I feel like I'm stronger. I don't know why.
Well, what I tell people is like when you lose weight, you gotta find out what works for you.
Right.
And if you enjoy it, like more than say a different system and it still works, you just gotta stick with that one. You don't want to burn yourself out.
Right.
And like for fasting, if you feel stronger and you enjoy your time in the gym more,
Right.
I mean, there's got to be a fun aspect to this. You can't just do it because you want to do it.
Right.
So I would say, stick with that, man.
Fuck yeah. I know. See, and that's one reason why I had you on is because I actually listened to your advice on your Instagram, and I fucking love it because it's I don't know, you're very motivational as well too.
Oh well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. No, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it. Like I mean, when you were like doing competing and stuff like that, how would your day go with eating?
Oh, shoot. Well, I would wake up. If I was getting ready for a show and I was like focused, because I had a lot of hiccups, mainly financial, because I was 18, 19, trying to facilitate it. But I would get up, I would go to the gym, and I do my cardio on an empty stomach. I might drink some like amino acids.
What was your cardio?
I would hop on the stairs, man, the Stairmaster, and I would do like 30 minutes in the morning before breakfast. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if science says it doesn't work. Dude, your stomach's on fire by the time you are done. There's nothing in there. We created some metabolic stress, so you're having to pull that fat reserve in there. It's punishing. And then right after that, I would get some. I would get like a whey. Like that's when I would do a whey protein because it's quick, it's easy. My metabolism's moving. I don't want to start atrophying or anything. I want to put a little something on there, so I do like a scoop of like whey, and then I would mix a superfood with it. I prefer like acai blueberry, stuff like that. Is that how you say acai? It's like whatever.
I don't know.
You know, somebody that works at Whole Foods will correct us.
Yeah. Actually.
Yeah. So I would do some of that because of the what's the word I'm looking for? I'll come back to that later. But essentially, it gave me a little bit of fuel, but at the same time, it's antioxidants.
Right.
Those would kind of facilitate that fast burning aspect and get those toxins out of my body I didn't really want. So I was fresh for the day. Because when you're like that low on food and you've already kind of put in some exercise, you don't have much energy.
Right.
And then, I'd wait probably another half an hour, 45 minutes, and I would eat a breakfast for me that, had a good amount of protein but didn't kill my digestion. Some people work better with oats. There's a whole trend right now for cream of rice. If you enjoy cream of rice, I enjoy it. Tastes better. Eat it. If you don't,
cream of rice. That's like
don't kill yourself over. Eat some freaking oatmeal.
Grits, kind of.
Yeah, it's the same. It's a thinner consistency. It's like almost like a not so fully baked cake kind of consistency. And it's rice based, so it's really easy to kind of move through your body.
Right.
And then after that, man, it's every 2 hours. I would do like chicken and rice, basically. I just like chicken and rice.
Right.
It's
yeah,
easy.
I enjoy too. Chicken, rice, love eggs as well.
Oh, and some sweet potatoes.
Oh, sweet potatoes before a workout get you going.
Matter of fact, I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but Fit Style Foods has got the best sweet potato mash.
Fit Style Foods.
Yeah, it's like a meal prep company right over here off of 69 Highway.
Dude, is that the same? Because I know at Genesis they.
They feed Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, I know a guy who he's at the Genesis that I work out at, and I mean he's a stocky guy. He's not too big, but he was telling me about it, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he puts in the work. He was a wrestler and stuff, but I could tell he's like I saw him in the sauna. I was like, damn, dude, you got some veins popping out and shit.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, hell yeah. I know. He said it was really more the proportion than anything, which is my problem. I like to fucking just go ham, dude. I'm a big eater. That's one thing.
Dude, I'm a foodie, man.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I don't like. That's one thing I know that because I know science kind of. I was reading a lot about science, kind of like debunking the every 2 hours. it's more of a strategy, right? Like if it works for you, like Arnold, for example, when Arnold's like, well, the reason why I did it, which is crazy, no one kind of interpret that. He's like, the reason why I did the every 2 hours was I wasn't a big eater.
Yeah.
So if you're not a big eater, that's great for you. It's not really. I feel like people just were like, oh, the science behind it, but really, I feel like it's just more of your preference. I don't know. I know some people that just like to fucking eat one big ass meal a day. You know what I mean?
And that might work for some people,
right?
Because like you said, the science behind it is the food quantity is basically what's going to equate to your metabolic activity. So if you can eat larger portions, less meals, that's cool. I prefer every 2 hours. It's like an accountability system because every 2 hours you have, and you're going to have a like a certain system of macronutrients you're trying to hit or calories. And so if you have, a time period that you have to meet in order to retain this many out of this portion of the calories you have to eat every day, it keeps you more accountable versus trying to force it in 3 meals or 2 meals.
Right.
And honestly, it's easier for like a busy schedule.
Right.
I know a lot of people say they work too much for it, but if you think about it, you get like shorter breaks. You don't have to eat as much food. You're not focusing on one break out of your work to kind of like get all this in, and then you can do it on the fly too. So if it's something as much as I only need this much, just bam, just throw it down.
Right. Have you ever done like carb cycling or anything like that?
Yeah, I have actually. Carb cycling, it's actually a pretty good system because the idea behind it is, so essentially when you eat these carbs, you have what's called like a glycogen storage, and once you fill that, the excess of your carbohydrates like sort of fat. So basically, you have a high day, which is you try to peak that glycogen storage, and then you have a medium day the next day. So it's like you're kind of leveling. You're not taking in too much. You're not taking in too little. And then the next day you have a low day to deplenish the rest of the storage you have. So on the high day you can match it again. Just allows you to gain weight, stay strong, and stay leaner at the same time.
So would you always do it in that order? Like have a high day, a medium day, then a low day, and then is there like a zero carb day during cycling?
I'm not a big zero carb guy.
Right.
I feel like there's no I don't feel like you can enjoy that.
Right.
Without just eating a ton of fats and just blowing everything out. And with bro science. But like if you want to do no carbs on your low day, by all means, if you feel good enough to do that, do it. And that's another thing about carb cycling. It's based off of kind of how you feel.
Right.
You can kind of put some in here or there depending on that day.
Right. Yeah, because I always see people talk about that. Like that is like the most. Always say like, oh, this is the most effective. Bodybuilders will tell me this is the most effective if you want to get big, but get leaner at the same time. Which is like what everyone wants, right? So.
Yeah, and another thing too is because a lot of people starting out is what they think. If you guys want to get really big, you gotta look a little bit chunky. You got to.
Right.
Now I'm not saying that you have to look like the Michelin Man.
Right.
But you do have to get a little chunky.
Right.
You gotta force that food.
You gotta put some weight on for sure. Because I know some guys that like, for example, I won't say who he is, but I know the guy, and he has good genetics. He's very athletic. He's a basketball player. He wanted to get into bodybuilding, and he's really tall, right? And I told him, like, I said, dude, I'm not a bodybuilder by all means, but I know people. My dad was a bodybuilder. I'm like, and he was like, he got some size on him, but he was like trying to cut all of a sudden. I'm like, dude, why are you trying to cut? Like, you're already lean.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason to cut. I was like, dude, if anything, gain some weight, man. Just get some on you. Because I said, dude, you're like 6'4". You're not gonna just put on size right away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was trying to explain that to him, and then he like wouldn't take my advice. Then a bodybuilder like someone with like someone like you who actually can tell him, told him, and he's like, I think you need to put on some size. It's like, yeah, that's what I just told. That's what I just told you.
Hey, I don't want to say you were right, but you were right.
Right.
So.
That's how I felt. I was like, I don't want to say I was right, but no, yeah, because I always felt like so with carb cycling, is there really like a specific? Like you said, I know it's how you feel, but is it really more of like so you cut it on the medium day? Would you cut your high carbs in half on the medium day and then just go really low the next?
So the way I understand it is because I've done it, but like I've never tracked it just because my genetic capability is it's a lot better than pretty much everybody I know.
Right.
So I can be more flexible. But if you're somebody that struggles and like you want to have it there, or if you're just super anal and you're like, hey, I got to know what I'm doing. Say your high day is 350. To my understanding, your medium day would be like 275.
Okay.
And then your low day would be like 150.
Okay. Okay. And you do that like Monday. Oh, well, I guess you'd want to do like your heavy lifts, like your high carbs, right?
Yeah, no, I mean like for me, if I have a leg day coming up, it's a huge body part. I'm gonna have a high carb day.
Right.
Because I'm gonna have a cheat meal that day. It is what it is.
Right. How do you split your workouts up? Do you are you kind of more of a believer in like the, pick a couple body parts, do the normal splits, or are you more of a like whatever I feel I'm just gonna throw in there?
Now that's a good question because I am like super focused on my splits. Like I do not compromise my splits. I don't compromise my training days. Generally, I do a chest and bicep, and then I would do a shoulder tricep day. I have a back day. I don't count my rear delts because my rear delts are pretty good. If I throw something in, they'll just kind of grow. And then I have a leg day. So typically chest, biceps, legs, shoulders, triceps, back. Those are my 4 days. I don't do more than 4. I don't do less than 4 every week.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I got you. Yeah, I know. I know a couple guys that do that. I kind of like the 4 days, especially if you're lifting, because you lift pretty heavy. I know that, right?
I lift on a progressive overload cycle.
Right, and sometimes getting that 3 days rest is pretty nice when you come back, right?
Yeah, I mean, people that train with me, they generally don't train for a few days after.
Right.
Because when you push your body like to the limits that I push mine, for those days, if you do not have a recovery time, you can't stay consistent.
Right.
You'll quit.
Right.
And I don't expect also someone to come off the streets and train the way I train, which when we get into that is I want to put that out there before we do. Because the way I'm going to explain it for a beginner, it's going to be really hard for you guys to kind of gauge what I'm talking about.
Right. For people who aren't beginners and wanting to like, I guess if you don't want to give any secrets away, but like.
Oh no, throw it out there.
Right. Yeah. So like
gear, whatever you want to talk about.
How? Yeah. Like break down like how you train. Like break it all down.
So progressive overload, it's a system where basically I take certain lifts. So say I'm doing a chest day, just because everybody likes to do chest, right? I'll warm up, get my shoulders nice and warm, and then my first movement would be the incline Smith machine bench press, because I don't like the barbell. I think it's just too much shoulder activity for me.
Right. And
my shoulders are really dominant. So I would probably do about 25 reps with just the bar, just to kind of get the movement in my head. Because I focus a lot on the execution. If the execution's not perfect, there's no reason for you to do another rep. It's counterproductive, and you're not really getting accomplished what you're there to do. You're wasting sets. So I kind of get that execution going, the flow, everything, like how I'm going to get these reps done, and then I'll probably put on a plate, and I'd probably go for 10 to 15 reps just to get warm. After that, I'd go straight to 2. Do 2 reps for probably 2 plates for probably 4 reps. It's just a warm up set. 2 1/4, probably 2 reps. Go up to 2 1/4 and a 10 for 1. And then yesterday, for example, I did 3 plates into 5, so I pressed 330 pounds or something roughly around there for a top set of 6 reps, maximum exertion. The idea behind it is you don't want to waste your energy on these warm-up reps. That's why my reps on my warm-ups, my feeder sets, whatever you want to call them, it's real low, because at that top set, I'm basically pushing the maximum amount of weight I can on that movement for 6 reps. Like that's like you can track that. I did 330 pounds this week. Next week I have to do 331 pounds or 330 pounds for 7 reps instead of 6.
Right.
You give yourself a way to track the progress.
Okay, that makes sense.
So with perfect execution, you can only get better. It's basically foolproof.
Right. Yeah, because that's I like that because then you come back the next week. Okay, so 330. Well, I'm gonna do 6 if it says 7. That makes sense. Yeah, I know some people who do it like I had a buddy who was she didn't because I understand that concept because I know a couple people who do it. They don't. I guess my trainer would do similar stuff to that when back when I had a trainer
Yeah.
in high school. He would do because he did bodybuilding and stuff like that, and we would do stuff like that where, but it was never real specific. Like it would be, okay, if you got 315 for 3, then you're gonna get 4 next time we bench. You're gonna get 5 or something like that. Really, well, and I was more training for football, I guess, kind of. So we would mix in like the bodybuilding stuff with like just like powerlifting kind of.
Yeah, just
or
like accessory
strength.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
you just train for explosiveness.
Right, right. We didn't do a lot of explosive, but I mean somewhat, definitely. And that's the thing with like when I want to bench a lot of weight because I love bench.
Mm-hmm.
It's my specialty. So
It's my
yeah,
specialty.
It's my specialty. So I love bench. So like if I wanna bench a lot, I'm not gonna just go fucking crazy. I'm gonna just like get 225, 5 reps, 275, 5 or 3 reps, then 295. Honestly, I'll probably go from 275 to 315 if I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
If it's one of those days. You know, I don't like feeling 295 for some reason, but sometimes I like to because I don't like. Cause you know, there's those weights in there that you don't ever do. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know about for you, but like, cause I know you fucking lift a tremendous amount of weight, way more than I do. But like, there's those like, you know, for example, 295. I never do 295. Sometimes when I hit 295, like, cause I can do 315, but if I'm doing 295, I'm like, god damn. That feels like my muscles, like, it's like they don't, like, it's because I never hit it. You know what I mean? So it feels completely different. Feels almost harder than the 315, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, and a lot of that, too, is, I mean, if you don't have to hit it to hit your top set, then by all means don't, because you're just wasting energy.
Right.
And you're taking away from that exertion point at the top.
Right. So, do you ever really then, like, max out like a 1 rep max, or?
No, you know, there's just not a lot of like a lot of science behind the hypertrophy behind that.
Right.
You know, if I ever would potentially, it would be to see what a weight felt like before I almost got to that point, so I knew what to expect.
Right.
But yeah, no, and I used to when I was, when I played sports, but now
right,
it's
they
just
kind of make you,
yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense for what I'm doing.
Right.
And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but like I'm never scared about going up in weight.
Right.
So if I were to put that on the bar, I wouldn't want to feel it anyways. I'm just going in there to crush it.
Right. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way with like, cause I don't ever look at it like, oh, I'm gonna max out today. It's just like, well, if I want to go heavy, I'm gonna go heavy. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. You know.
Absolutely.
And that's one reason why I kind of hated work. Cause like I said, I had a trainer and I was kind of spoiled. And I guess you went to Mill Valley, so you might know Max Woods. Did you know Max Woods or of Max Woods?
No.
He trained a lot of people. Well, not a lot before our generation, because his kids went there and they all played football and stuff. So he trained a lot of kids. But I mean, he's fucking amazing, amazing trainer. No, yeah, we just kind of go with what we feel. But that's one thing I hated with when I really didn't take weights in high school, because obviously I was gonna lift later. It felt like a waste of time because in high school kids were just kind of fucking around, and I'm like, yeah, no wrong. My senior year I did, and I like it was nice because I got like the extra lift in, so I was like, okay, but I really didn't want to waste my energy for like my real workout later.
Yeah.
And I hated the way they set it up, because it was like, we got to max out every week and do this, and there's like the percentages, and I don't know why, but I hate the percentages.
See, and I'm with you there. To me, I can never understand a percentage.
I don't get it either.
I don't know how many reps I have left in me based on
Right.
the percentage. Like, if I don't do the maximum amount of weight, because
Right.
I mean, there's how do you gauge
Well,
that?
okay, and
Is
here's
it just a guessing game?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I never understood it. I never numbers to the percentage because it was like, okay, so if I could do like you're telling me, okay, well if you could do 315 10 times, then you could get this amount of weight. And I was like, well, not really necessarily, because there's definitely powerlifters that could fucking bench or squat a shit ton of weight, but when you put the weight down, I guarantee you they really can't get like 10 reps. Now, give or take, there's certain people out there that can. But I'm just saying, not always are they gonna. They might have really shitty endurance. They never train volume. They never train. You know what I mean? So
I know a couple freaks that can.
Right.
But to most people, when like what you said, they consider that cardio.
Right.
And they're gassed.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It is. Yeah. It is crazy. I know there's this one really big guy I used to work out with. I mean, he was huge, and that's another thing is like size is always like. It's funny to me. Like obviously there's freaks out there. And you always know the freaks, but like there's size is always like fucking like looks are deceiving because there's some really big dudes who like they didn't work out the way that we worked out, so when they came down and they're huge and buff, there's this buff ass black dude we used to work out named Jerome, dude.
Yeah.
I mean my butthole puckered. I came down and he's like, "What's up? My name's Jerome." I was like, "What's up, dude?" He's huge as fuck, and I'm like, "Oh shit." So we go when we worked out, and I'm thinking this dude's gonna rep out 315. And I got like, that was one of the times where I was like fucking strong as fuck. I got like 10 reps, and then this dude just comes in and gets like, just like got the bar on him. I was like, wait, what the hell, dude? You were like bigger than everyone down here. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy. And I also learned a lot that in football. Like there's so many guys in the weight room that are just huge, but it's almost like they expect to get it, so they don't really work hard for it. You know what I mean?
Just big for no reason.
Yeah, 100%. Usually guys who are the strongest are guys who are built like short and fucking like a shit brick house. Is what I've noticed for sure. And then you got like the guys who are just tremendous. Who just lift a tremendous amount of weight.
I've played with like a lot of athletes that were like just like ridiculous. And like you said, and then there's just those freaks, man, 6'4", just can do anything. Right. And I'm like, so glad I'm not going after you, man.
Mill Valley's a special place, though. I feel like there's a lot of strong dudes in Mill Valley.
Well, Mill Valley was cool, but I went to part of my high school in Ventura, California.
Right.
And like that was like a whole different breeding ground.
Right.
Of
I'm sure
athleticism.
there's just freaking freaks out there.
Oh, dude, but that's the thing is, what's crazy and nobody would believe it is actually the Kansas football leagues, man. Tougher than California.
Really?
Dude, all day. So like if you take the I was like St. Thomas Aquinas, Bishop Miers, the kind of schools I played against in Kansas, I would much rather play the guys in California.
Really?
The kids are smaller, they're super fast, but the people that get scouted are those bred-in genetic freaks because of that denser population. Right. Like they just come out of nowhere because there's just so many more people. There's a higher chance of that.
Right.
But here's just corn-fed, man. I'm telling you, they train harder here too.
Right. That's crazy. Well, I mean, I guess I was at I feel like my school district was really shitty. Well, not my school. My school was not very good, and we didn't have a lot of good. We had good players. We just didn't have the best coaching.
I feel like you guys had a lot of talent because those other kids in Shawnee Mission, bro, we beat the cheeks off of them.
Yeah, for sure. There was like East was crazy. Oh, we had it was so weird. It was like I compare it because like we had talent, right? We had a lot of talent. Like Will Schneider, Danny Pressler, all these guys were like just big dudes. They were great, but like our coaching just didn't come together. I mean, and it made us not come together as a team. It made us sloppy, and it was so crazy when we played like Wyandotte and Harmon. We always knew every year that like those were 2 wins, right? Because their coaching wasn't very good, but like the athletes there were crazy, dude. Were crazy. Like there was a kid who I played with named Javier. I don't even know if the dude even remembers me, but I remember him. And I mean, this dude could run just like he was so quick, dude. And it was crazy. He went to Wyandotte, and like there's so many other guys just like him, just fast, strong, built. Like if you looked at them and looked at us, they were like, oh shit, like they're gonna win. But like we would end up winning because our coaching was just a little bit better. But I guess that's just the way it goes, right?
Yes, sir, man. If you don't come together as a unit, you're gonna fail.
Right.
That's why I like bodybuilding. I don't have to worry about keeping up with anybody else, man. It's just me.
Right. Yeah. It's just you. That's.
I mean, it's super selfish, But at the same time, you don't have to worry about other people weighing you down.
Right.
And I'm a huge dick about that. Like I hate that.
Right.
If somebody weighs me down and slows me down, I'm on fire.
Well, and that's another thing with workout partners. Like you got the guys who are like, "Fuck yeah, we're not gonna talk. We're gonna get it done." They're gonna push you even harder, and it's always good having because and I find with lifting, it's not like a dickhead competitiveness. It's more of like, to me, it's more of like, oh shit, this dude's making me work hard, so it's making me better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's never like, oh, I'm gonna outlift this guy. I'm out, whatever, out rep him or anything like that. No, it's like we're in the like, obviously, like it's you against you, but like this dude is pushing you harder. So it's always good. One thing I hate is like, you'll have a buddy. I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you have a buddy you haven't seen in a long time, and then you work out with, and it's just like they're just talking and talking. I'm like,
yeah, dude,
I haven't seen you in forever, so.
The last time that happened to me, I literally looked him in the face and I said, "Dude, if you don't shut the fuck up, like I'm gonna make you leave. Like
right.
we're here to work.
Right.
After that, yes, we can talk. We can do whatever you want to do. But right now, like this is time to get better, and you are distracting me."
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I hate this. This is definitely like really important is having a workout partner for sure. There's someone to push you. I know you always work. Do you always work out with someone else, or is a lot of time you're working out by yourself?
Yeah, no, I can't really. I don't have any good training partners. My buddy Long loves training with him because we're on a very similar pace. You know, we don't have to variate what we lift on too many lifts, and but other than that, I mean, I get a lot of people that come that want to train with me that found me on Instagram or something. They're like, "Hey man, like you push me, I want to come train with you." Cool, come in, and then they quit.
Right.
You know, they quit early. They can't take the way I train because it is really taxing. It takes a lot out of you. It calls for a lot, and then I've had a couple people throw up and they just never talk back to me.
Are these people though who are like elite, like you, like is like your size, your strength, or are they just kind of like?
I've had some people my size live with me and like not be able to hold in there.
Right.
And then I've had others like beginners, like I just show up, hit me on IG, and then I never hear from them again after I destroy them. And it's not that I'm trying to; it's just like that's how I train.
Right.
And I want to show them this is like the best way to get better. This is how I did it.
Right.
A lot of people can't take it.
Right. But do you have like an ambition for training? Like if you train someone who's like a beginner, like, hey, I'm showing you like the basics and stuff like that, but I'm showing you kind of like, certain things that are you're not going to get anywhere else. This is for me, right?
I don't think that I have a whole lot of secrets. I think I have knowledge on some body parts per se, just from genetics, like being able to feel. For example, like my back and my arms are like my two freakiest body parts. A lot of people struggle getting their back and arms up.
Right.
I can put into words better for them how to feel this and make them work on that body part better, just because I know what they're supposed to be feeling in their head, because it's so easy for me to feel that connection.
Right.
So like I have helped quite a few people. Like yesterday, my buddy Kenner came and worked out with me, and he's like, "Dude, I don't know how to grow my arms." Dude left with the nastiest arm pump he ever had in his life because I just knew if I could put my head in his arms, what he needed to feel and how he needed to execute that movement in order to get the gains he was looking for.
Right, for sure. Is back your favorite?
Oh, dude, man, yeah, back days, like that's the best day.
Yeah, I love
show off, Duke.
Do you when you're doing back, are you going like really? Because like with my trainer, we always trained like we trained back pretty heavy. We trained heavy all the time, but like we always did it like super like everything. I know it's like almost everything was slow and controlled, but like with back, he always said like don't. The way he did it was like we're not gonna have a rhythm. Like bench you might have like or back or chest you might have a rhythm, or shoulders you might have a rhythm with it. You're still going slow and controlled, but like back he's like hold it down, come up. Like hold it down as long as you can, come up. Is that kind of similar to how you do back, or how do you do back?
I can't say I have a rhythm for back, and I think it's because every movement you execute for that body part is just such a different range of motion.
Right.
It's hard to gauge one piece of rhythm. Because like with shoulders or chest, it's basically just pressing the whole time,
Right,
or
right.
maybe some side raises, and that's easy to kind of get in the rhythm of. But like with back, you say you got rows or pull downs, or you want to do a one arm row, not a two arm row. There's just so many variations.
Right.
It's really hard to do that. My whole thing is, you know, go down all the way to the bottom, full range of motion, maybe pause for a second on back to get that stretch, come up and squeeze, as hard as you can for, 1-2 seconds, and repeat, man. You gotta control those negatives too. You gotta, on the way down, that's the most important part of the movement.
Yeah, that's exactly how he was, because he's like, your back is so big, dude. Like you need to beat the shit out of it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? He'd always be like he said, if we're doing rows or what the fucking like the row machine or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The big old T-bar.
Yeah, the T-bar, which his T-bar was awesome. I loved his T-bar, and I also like the ones that I found some cool T-bars. There's one in Paola that's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it has like the metal, it's like a metal platform, and you put it down.
We got one of those up north. You gotta come up and train at Flex sometime, dude.
Dude, they have the sexiest machines, dude. It is crazy, dude.
That T-bar you're just mentioning, he has, but like it's an arsenal, so you can unscrew it and move like where you want your hand placement. It has different grips on it.
Right. Dude, I be watching you work out. I'm like, dude, I swear to God, I've never seen that machine before. Or
yeah,
whatever.
dude,
Like,
that lat pull over machine.
Yeah, that one. That was when you run like
brutal.
this. Dude, that thing is fucking crazy, and I like it because, I like seeing that because you have the other ones that kind of like you gotta either they pull together or like you have the one up here and you're just kind of stretching out. That one's cool because you're just like
the arsenal.
Yeah.
I really like that gym, man. Flex is like totally just like it's like your garage floor, just concrete floors.
Yeah, it's like
just pads under the equipment, iron like cast iron weights. And he's got stuff posted all over where don't be a pussy, don't drop your deadlift softly, like make sure it's loud.
Right.
It's a cool vibe, it's a grunge vibe, man. It has all this equipment. The owner, Jason, he's a dude's massive, really good bodybuilder.
Right.
He just basically decided one day, I'm gonna open a gym, I'm gonna put all the equipment in it I want, and I'm basically gonna rent these unique pieces of equipment to other people, which was the best idea I think anybody's ever had, because now literally he's renting out his garage gym to other people in a sense, and he can get the equipment he wants, so it's all super unique stuff.
Yeah, I know, dude, because like when I watch your stuff, I'm like, God damn, dude, I've never seen that before. I've never seen that. Where's it located?
It's up in Northtown, Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's really not that far from, if you hopped on 35 over here, about 12 minutes, man.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, if you just go 35.
You just keep taking it straight up. It's right by Chicken and Pickle.
Okay,
in the Cerner campus. It's a blast too.
Right.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Right. Hell yeah, dude.
I love that place.
Is there just one Flex or?
Yeah, no, it's just independently owned. And honestly, I don't think there's I know a lot of people are opening other gyms that are similar to it, but I don't think that there's another gym that's going to be like Flex.
Right.
Just because he's so different as an owner, and like he understands what he wants, and what he wants works. Right. I don't just happen to be the way his preferences are. That's the best way to do it.
That's also really good because you have gyms like the guy what would you call it, the chain gyms, I guess you would say, whatever, Hour Genesis, whatever. Like, okay, it's what everyone else wants. You gotta have some for everybody. Like, here's what it's like, and that's one thing I hate is like, okay, well, because then you bring in everyone, but then when you have someone like that, like, nah, dude, I'm big as fuck. I want people who are big as fuck come in. It's gonna have a big as fuck vibe. Like, it's, no bullshit, no Planet Fitness bullshit. Like, that's cool because it has an authenticity to it. You know what I mean?
No, and honestly, dude, that's the way his is. The only two rules that he has at that gym is pick up your weights and wipe down your equipment.
Right.
And honestly, too, when you find a gym like that, you feel obligated to, because why wouldn't you want to take care of a gym that's so different? Right. If that's like that's my place, I go in there like I want to put weights back. I'll put other people's weights back for them. I'll wipe down machines because like I want to take care of that equipment nobody else has.
Right, make it look nice and
Yeah.
all that for sure. Yeah, that's it's definitely, dude. I need to check it out because I love gyms like that. I always like small because of having my trainer. I mean, dude, it was just a basement, man.
Yeah.
So, but we had everything we needed. You know what I mean? We had everything we needed, all the equipment, and dude, he is like so brilliant as a person. Like he would weld shit together, we tape shit together, make new stuff. I mean, we had everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, he'd pull shit apart so we'd have different ranges. You know what I mean? He'd fucking take wood and put it underneath like the Smith machine to make it more inclined. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. I swear to God, I know fat grips have been a thing for a minute, but like, you know, like they weren't really like
They weren't big for a long time.
They were not big for a long time, man. I swear to God, this dude takes like the crutches, like with crutches, the padding off of it, and this is before like I ever saw anyone use fat grips. Like this is before I saw like the trend of it. And we used them as fat grips. It was
That's
so
what's
fucking
up,
cool.
man.
It
That's
was so
cool.
fucking cool. And
Shout
I
out to
swear
that
to
guy.
God, yeah, shout out to Max Woods, dude. Because like the next year, I just saw fat grips everywhere. I was like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, you got the OG fat grips, man.
Yeah.
The crutches.
The crutch, yeah, dude, and they were like thick too, so you had to really like, you know.
Yeah.
We also like we do crazy shit like with the leg. He had a really different leg press machine. Like it was kind of like the more narrow ones, which I liked. It came all the like you could turn it into like a squat, you know what I mean, and it came all the way down. But what we did was like, and he did. This is how like crazy the thinker is. He's like he'd sit there and he'd think. And I'm like, oh fuck, what is he thinking of? So he took it, he put the weight all the way down, and then so here's the leg press on the other end because the leg press goes like this, right? You know. Yeah. So on the other end, he'd put like a stool here, and we'd stand up, and then we'd just do like lat pulls.
Some rows, dude.
Yeah, dude, some rows right there. And I tell you what, I swear to God, after we did it, because like we'd have 100-pound plates on each side, just pulling it, dude.
Yeah.
And especially at that angle, because you're just like down like this. The only shitty thing was like kind of hurt your midsection right there, like while pulling it.
Shoot.
Yeah. So we put.
Your girlfriend's not mad. You got some marks there. You're good to go.
Yeah. She's all right. But no, I swear to God, every time we did that, because we get away from it for a while, we go back to doing it. Like I just see stretch marks and my back just expand every time.
Hey, dude, growth marks are what's up.
Dude, I know. When I see stretch marks, I'm like, okay, I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yes, sir.
Dude, so I hear some people say this, and I want to ask you, what? And I don't get it, and I kind of get what they're saying. For maybe beginners, like guys who want to just, like, for example, just go hard every day, and then they get burnt out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I always hear, like, well, some people say, well, when you're sore all the time, like, it's not actually good, like, if you're going hard all the time. How do you feel about that? Because I know you just like to fucking get it. You know what I mean?
You know, here's the thing. You don't have to get sore to grow.
Right.
But it's a good measurement.
Right.
And then you don't also have to not be sore before you train again.
Right.
I think that's a really relative statement. I think that's just too broad of somebody to say that.
Right.
Because you don't know what the fuck's going on in your body.
Right.
But as you can visually see the progress happening, then what's the problem?
Right.
I'm not injured. I'm growing. I'm a little sore, but it's working. I mean,
right.
What am I doing wrong?
Right. And see, that's the thing is like people are like, I hate when I hear this. And there's another thing when I work out with some guys who they watch some guy they love on YouTube and they're following it, and I'm like, whatever, dude. I'm not doing that workout because it's just not me, so I'm not doing it. But like they're always like, we don't need to go hard today because actually we need to just like focus on this. You know what I mean? Like focus on.
Oh God.
I'm like, dude, suck a dick because here's the thing.
Yes.
Because here's the thing.
That's the energy right
there. They think,
there.
There's overtraining. I'm like, dude, if you're not fucking pissing brown, you're fucking fine. I highly doubt you're overtraining. I mean, is that how you feel as well?
Dude, okay, I'm gonna say this, and if anybody watching gets offended, just remember that I don't care. If that's ever you at one point in time where you step foot in the gym and you think you don't have to train hard, go fuck yourself. Like, you're not benefiting from this. Like, please, just take that energy and take it back to your mom's basement.
Right.
Like nobody wants you there, and you're
Right.
you don't know what you're talking about. Because like you said, pissing brown is a really really good way to track if you're overtraining or not.
Right.
And I don't think I've ever seen anybody piss brown liquid.
Right. We'll see that, and I hate that. I hate that because I train with somebody who goes, obviously I'm not on the level of
Yeah.
where you're at, but for most guys, like I train fucking hard. I want to train heavy.
Yeah.
I want to get the reps in. I want to go hard, dude. I want to grow. I want to be big, and they do too, apparently. And then we work out together, and they're like, "Well, we went hard yesterday. Why don't we just take it light?" I was like, "No, we're not taking it light today, dude."
Yeah.
I was like, "Don't get me wrong. When I'm sore, like I'm gonna do what I can, but I'm gonna push myself past what I think I can so I can grow every day, so that way I can grow. I want to get bigger." They're like, "Well, actually, I've been watching this guy named blah blah blah, and he said this, that you only need to train once a week really hard, and the rest of the week you just train like 60%. I'm like, "Okay, well,
Yeah, no.
is he really that big? You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
And like guys, you always say that are generally not that big. We got guys like CT and Rich Piana, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they are like the epitome of no, go fucking hard or go
Yeah.
home. Go being a pussy. Like I don't care about all this science bullshit that you're pulling out of your ass.
Yeah.
Like no, obviously they have like. And that's the thing. I'm not totally like. I love to learn about the science behind it. I took a physiology class, loved learning about it, and even my professor was like, "Yeah, like if you look at like statistics and all this and the way people train, everyone has their own fucking everyone has their own mailing. Everyone has like
Yeah.
their own little taste of what they do, but there's always the guys who you see are big as fuck, and he said this, that are big as fuck, and they train hard every day. Why are they big as fuck? Because they train hard every day.
Yeah, man.
You know?
When you train, the only way your muscle has a reason to grow is if you give it a stimulus that it's never experienced before.
Right.
Because then at that point in time, it has to adapt.
Right.
That's all your body does. If you put that's why I train the way I do. If I put something on heavier, the reason I train so heavy, I can track those weights. Because the next week, if I put more weight on, even if it's 1 pound, and I do have 1 pound plates, don't hate.
No, I'm not hating.
It's like my body, like it's never felt that before. It has to grow. It has to adapt.
Right.
That's why those bigger guys continue to get bigger. That's why they're better than you.
Right.
It just is what it
100%.
is.
Well, and that's also what I was telling you about. We were talking earlier about, like, for example, my body I never, like, if I'm benching, I never hit 295. But when I do, my body hasn't experienced it. I'm like, it's shocked, right? But another thing is, like, what you say is, like, you're putting on 1 pound plates. Well, your body, that's like right there.
Yep.
It hasn't experienced it, even if it's 1 pound heavier. And my professor, don't get me wrong, I'm so glad, because if it was some like asshole professor who was just like that, just science based kind of guy, I would be like whatever. But no, he was pretty cool ass dude. And he wasn't big at all, but he knew his shit, and he he loved fucking training and stuff like that. And he trained. He more knew how to train than to train himself, if that made sense. But he even said right there, he's like, scientifically proven, like, if you lift a weight that you haven't lifted before, you're gonna get bigger. It's like your body has to. It's like that's what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
right.
I know. And people severely underestimate like the power of incremental progress.
Right.
Yeah, no. Even if it's like just like you said, man. Even if it's 1 pound, you don't know how much tissue that's going to equate to, but some tissue has to go there.
Right. Yeah, and there's always the trend, like the trend guys who like to hop on like whatever's in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna hop on. No disrespect to like kettlebells or something like that. Like, I want to do some kettlebells. Which don't get me wrong, I would like to do like shit like that and stuff too, but. Or I'm gonna do CrossFit. Not disrespecting any of those guys or anything like that.
Full disrespect.
Full disrespect to CrossFit. But there's always they always want to ride the trend, and then it's like, okay, well, you're not doing like what is always worked.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing as meat and potatoes, man. Like, same people at the same size eat the same things. They all train the same exercise. It's just, it is what it is, man. There's building blocks to this, man. There's levels.
100%. Are you fucking on like restrictions with dieting right now, or?
Yeah, I can't eat everything I want, which is kind of depressing.
It is depressing,
dude.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm a fat kid, man. I've always been.
Hey, I'll make a statement right now too that a lot of people are gonna get upset about. I'm upset that I can't eat Slim Chickens because it's better than Cane's.
Dude, fuck yes. Thank
Dude,
you.
it
Oh, yeah,
is,
I
man.
fucking hit you up about that. Dude, it's not that I hated Cane's. I just never really, like.
They give you pinky fingers, dog.
Yeah, and it's not, the breading is not as good as Slim Chickens.
Listen.
Slim Chickens is. And their sauce, bro. They have
Dude,
variety with sauce.
Exactly. If you want to eat, fried chicken with plain ass panko breadcrumbs, take your ass down to Cane's and bite into that chicken finger.
Right. I like their bread. Like the toast.
The toast is better.
The toast is really good. But you know what? The hype was always the sauce, and I never really liked the sauce that
A little
much.
peppery.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel the exact same way. I'm like, dude, I don't like the pepper in it. Like,
Yes,
that's
a
the only thing.
little too much pepper, man. If they just held back on the pepper, about half pepper, it'd be really
Right.
good. But man, when you go to Slim's and their sauce is like thick, it's not all watery.
And there's like a million different sauces
Yeah,
you can choose from. And I like hot.
And they give you
Inferno's pretty
more
hot.
sauce.
Yeah.
And the portion sizes are bigger.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know, because when you eat Cane's, you're like, fuck. The same with like with Chick-fil-A. When I eat Chick-fil-A, I'm like, god damn, I'm fucking hungry. You know what I mean? I eat it.
Can't go in for one sandwich.
Dude, honestly, I always get two meals when I go in, because I'm fucking, I eat one, and because I eat fast, so like, I'm not gonna be hungry, but like maybe 30 minutes later I'll be full.
Yeah.
But with Chick-fil-A, I have to eat fucking two
sandwiches, 2 orders of fries, large fries, 1 drink.
I don't know, nothing beats fucking Go Chicken Go though, dude. I fucking love it.
See, I've only had it a handful of times.
Really?
Yeah, no. That G sauce did not sit well with me.
Really? What, like you're on the shitter or?
Like, I mean, the level of death that came out of my butt. I just can't put people in that situation.
Dude, you know what it is? It's picante and Louisiana sauce.
Just mixed together?
Yeah, that's all it is. And they probably sugar, I'm guessing.
Sugar.
Yeah. Do you like gizzards or?
Yeah, bro. I mean, they got good food. I've never had to complain about the food.
Right. I'm big on. Dude, I love fucking. Dude, what's your favorite barbecue around here?
Dude, that's tough because I feel like every spot has different things they're good at.
Yeah. Well, okay, but so they probably don't have a lot of barbecue in California, right?
Oh, dude, it was horrible.
Yeah.
But we did have Marshall's though, which was a guy that was from Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
So his stuff was good. He actually had real burn ends. But man, California barbecue's such a joke.
So is Texas. Everyone gets pissed at me for saying that, but I fucking hate Texas barbecue.
It's just like when you walk in and they're like, "Oh man, let's put this barbecue up," and you have a strip of this brisket with barbecue sauce inside.
Right.
I'm like, what?
Right. No
What
kidding.
is this?
The one complaint I have about Texas is not the size, it's the taste. Like, they're not as sweet. I feel like Kansas City is always sweet.
Yeah, I got that molasses in the barbecue sauce.
100%.
Man, the brown sugar.
Yeah, I like Gates, and a lot of people don't like Gates because it's vinegary. But like, I ate there the other day, and it wasn't that good. I had
See,
some
the
dry
Gates
chicken.
got the best ribs.
Yeah, they do have good ribs.
Best
They do have
ribs,
really
man.
good
And
ribs.
then obviously you got Casey Joe's. They got the best burn ends and brisket.
Yeah.
But you know, a little hidden joint right over there by North, RJ's, man.
Oh, dude, yes!
It's
Yes!
the bomb.
I was just about to bring up me and my friends, because everyone shits on RJ's because it's in Mission.
Dude,
You know
best
what I mean?
barbecue chicken there is.
Dude, they have great barbecue chicken. Have you ever had their barbecue nachos?
That sounds fire.
Dude, it is fucking good. It's like dude, it's so fun. And you know what's even better? If you get the full, which I know you're gonna get the fucking full.
Yeah.
When you go there, like you get I want some nachos or some barbecue nachos. You get like a little plate, and you're like, you just finish them, you're done, and you're like, oh god damn it, I'm already done.
Yeah.
Me and my other friend, who's also a bigger fella, we fucking got the full, and we were like, when we were done, we ate probably the same amount. We were done, we were like, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to eat my meal now because that shit was fucking filming. Like,
Yeah.
they just throw like pork, because we got, I don't know if we got pork or beef, just like meat, just they pour it into it. It's so fucking
Nice,
good.
dude.
Their sauce is good. Like, I love RJ's, and everyone
Their
shits on
sauce
it.
is so fire, man.
Have you ever had Elsie's?
I've never had Elsie's, no.
Dude, okay, so technically I've had Elsie's, like, catered, I guess. Like, I've had, like, someone else gave me Elsie's and it was fire. But I used to buy the sauce all the time. It was right there. I'm so bad with directions, but like when you get
It's
out
right
of
there
the
next
fucking
to that lane.
yeah, next to that. Well, no, it's right by the stadiums. So like the stadiums when you're leaving, not by the highway, but on the other end of like the main highway there, because there's the highway, then there's gates on the other end of that highway. Then you got the stadiums. If you go out that other end where all the houses are.
Did you get that on video, dude? That just bounced right into my eyeball.
What?
I just drank Crystal Light through my eye.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude.
Just pour it right in there. Dude,
It's burnt free.
What is that fucking? What is
That's blueberry raspberry.
Blueberry raspberry.
You want to try some?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay,
I don't believe in the COVID shit, really. I mean, I do, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
not.
I don't think it's as bad as people say it is.
I think people are definitely being pussies. I don't care if anyone gets mad.
No, and if you guys take the vaccine like first in line, any negative health side effects are completely on you. Because that would have been produced in like 4 months.
Right.
I'm out, bro.
Yeah,
it takes 2 years.
Well, here's the thing: when you're young like us, it's like okay, well, you don't really need to like worry too much about it versus someone who's older, right? But yeah, fuck. I mean, dude, that's the whole thing. Is like it takes a long time for that vaccine to.
It's
like
supposed to
2
like
years or so, even more than that. I thought because
Yeah.
they keep like redoing them and shit, right?
Oh, I'm out, man. Yeah, no, it's I sold a car, man, to this lady who works for the pharmaceutical company producing it, and she said to me, she told me not to be the first person in line. The people that are making it told me
That's fucking crazy.
not to be the first person in line because it was some straight voodoo shit, man.
Really? Did she like mention like what all was in it, or
She said basically it changes the fundamental DNA of your entire body.
Ooh.
And how it because what this COVID thing is it works the same way as the flu. It replicates your RNA, so it's built up to a point to where it's already too late before your body catches it.
Right.
That's why people get fevers on it.
Right.
And she says something about changing how the RNA looks to the body as a whole, so that way it can identify these things. But that to me, I was like, dude, that I don't want. No, man.
Game, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just trying to chill.
Yeah, fuck that.
If I gotta move to the country, I'll move to the country.
Dude, fuck that.
I'll live as a hermit, man.
Well, and that's the thing is like, dude, I went to Mexico and like, I guess they're more. I mean, it's Mexico, so they don't really give a shit as much as us, but they're like they'll tell you like on the resort, they'll like, hey, put your mask on, like, because they kind of have to. But then after like you're drinking and eating and shit, they're like, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Mexico, dude. Have fun, you know.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. And they're not testing there, which is so funny because if you look at all the things that Mexico has like nothing, it's because they don't test. You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
You can't have cases if you don't test.
Right.
Did you see what they caught with China?
No. What did they catch with China?
Dude, China just stopped testing people and reposting the same fucking numbers.
That's fucking wild. Yeah, to make
So
America look bad.
yeah, everybody's like, well, we're handling it poorly. I'm like, I think we're the only country still updating this shit.
I really
More
do.
than cares, man.
Yeah, because like there's like places like Sweden who didn't really get hit because they live way differently. Like they live in villages and shit like that.
Yeah, and they just
So
locked
like,
their old people in the house and then sent all the young people out.
Right.
So you had this herd immunity, and then they let the old people back out of the
Right.
houses.
Dude, I was watching. I know this is unrelated, but I don't know if you know Ari Shafar. I think is his name, a comedian.
Yeah, I think I've watched it go.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. It just reminded me of COVID. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but he was talking about. He's like, you know, it's kind of funny if we all just stop fucking for 10 days, we get rid of chlamydia. He's like, if everyone in the world would just stop fucking for 10 days, we just get rid of it. He's like, but that's not gonna happen.
No, dude, that's living on a prayer right there.
Right.
I don't know if I could do 10 days, man.
Yeah, fuck that. Dude, I don't. And that's the thing with the COVID thing. It's like, if it didn't work before, why are they wanting to shut us down now? Yeah, again. You know what I mean?
You know, it's just, I don't think we're gonna get shut down in Kansas again.
You don't think so?
Well, I mean, the vaccine, which again I won't be taking as soon as it comes out, it's gonna be here in like 2 weeks.
Right.
So why would we shut down
If there's going to be a vaccine.
if people are gonna be getting vaccinated that fast? It just wouldn't make sense. I think there's a lot of panic and a lot of people talking about things they don't understand, or and it's a control thing. Like anybody that says it's not a control thing, Dude, it's definitely a control thing. They are literally posting arrows in Walmart to tell you what direction you can walk in.
Right.
As if COVID doesn't go the other direction.
Right, and there's always those people that love to fucking tell other people what to do. So they love this whole COVID thing. Like, there's people that love this shit, man. Because you go, and there's people who work at Target or Walmart, and I was one of them, worked at Target. They're like, hey, you can't do that. Oh, no, you can. And even just fucking people in there like this chick.
Whistleblowers.
Yeah, the whistleblowers, dude. Because I had like my mask, like barely, well, it was down. And I was talking to someone, and like my mask was really thick, and I was like, I can't talk to you without, So I pulled it down, and this fucking Karen comes over around the corner and was like, hey, you're supposed to have your mask on? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just, because I'm at work, I'm not going to fucking risk my job arguing with this bitch. So I pulled it up, and I was pulling up kind of slow, and I regret it, because she goes, yeah, all the way over the nose. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why did you say it like that?
I wonder if these people realize why they have so few friends.
Yeah. Right?
like these are the people that go home at night, they lay in bed with their 5 fucking dogs,
right,
no husband,
yeah, no husband,
and they're like,
vaginas.
why didn't I get laid today? I'll tell you why you didn't get laid today.
Dude, it's facts, man.
I work with one, and she had been laid 2.5 years. And I'm like, you don't think it's maybe because of how you talk to people.
Right, maybe you're a
and she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, go say this. You know what happened? She got fucking laid. That easy. She just treated people with respect and let them do their thing.
Love guru, man. Getting people laid, getting women laid. Is she older?
Oh yeah,
older women laid.
She needed it, man. That kid, man. And I hope she doesn't see this because I work with her. But go, whew. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking right
It's okay. Well, we're an hour in. There's no way that she's gonna skip to. Well, maybe she will. I don't know. Well, there's always and that's a big thing is how you talk to me, because you're really good at talking to people. I mean, you're a salesman, right? But also that's one thing that surprises me. Some salesmen, like the way they talk to people, I'm like, I don't want to fucking buy this. You know what I mean?
Man. Sales is not like you don't ever sell. Good salespeople don't sell people anything, because like. And I know that sounds like totally backwards.
No.
But how are you going to fix a situation if you didn't listen to what the problem was in the first place?
Right.
You don't ever have to sell someone something if you provide them the material that fixes the problems they have at a cost they can afford.
Right.
It just, oh, well, this just happened. And you just tell them 3 times, maybe this will fix that, and then it's done.
Right. 100%. Yeah, and that's the thing is like, I know someone in real estate, he's a family friend, and he's like, dude, it's crazy. He's shorter, chunkier, looks like a biker guy, but he does really good because like he's so personable. He's never pushy. Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, well, you want me to look at the house? I look at it. Not whatever. Like he's just like that. That's how he talks, and people love him. Versus, oh no, you gotta look at it. You have to look at it right now because blah blah. Give him some bullshit. It's like, dude, you're being put like that's not gonna.
You're investing in the wrong things, man.
Right.
It's those people. They get one opportunity and they're like, I gotta make this sale, or else I'm not gonna make any money. Right. And people can feel your desperation. Like like, okay, this guy's thirsty for something. Don't know what it is, but I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't like it. You don't want to buy the car or the house, and that just goes with real life too, dude. Because people can't, and it's like there's so many people like it. It sucks. I've been fortunate enough to fucking love to talk enough to been okay. I can talk to a wall. I can talk to pretty much anybody. But there's some people who, like, man, I'm like, dude, like you just said, I'm like, dude, you wonder why people, they don't like me. Well, I wonder why, because you're fucking, like, I get, I like to say I understand people sometimes a lot. So, like, when someone says, oh, well, they're being a bitch, I'm like, no, that's just how they talk. Like, I can understand that, but, like, that person can't understand that. Mm-hmm. And I try to tell that person, like, that you need to kind of come off a different way. You're coming off kind of like a bitch,
Sorry
or an
for
asshole.
The word, but, like, that's what it is.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's another thing is, like, and I talk about it on here a lot, but I don't really give a shit if people get annoyed for, like, my 5 fans that watch all the time. Which I'm thankful for.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love my 5 fans, dude. I don't give a shit. I'd rather have 5 than a million fake ones, I guess. But
hey, man, if Nick Carson, if you're watching this, I hope you're one of those 5 fans.
Dude, he definitely is, dude. You know Nick?
Dude, Nick's my boy, man.
Dude, Nick is
my boy.
How do you know Nick?
Well, I went to school with him. So we went to the same elementary school, same middle school.
But you went to Hawker, right?
Yeah. I don't think I had any classes with Nick.
That's crazy. So we would have went to Hawker together probably a year.
Yeah, no, I'm the same age as him. So.
Yeah. Nick's awesome, dude. That's another dude. He knows how to talk to people with his voice. I've been trying to get him to start a podcast or something because everyone tells him with his fucking beautiful voice, radio voice it is. But he never.
He's got like this accent that's not an accent, but like the way he twists the words.
Yeah, he goes like this, and he's so dramatic. Like it's so funny. It's so not saying he's dramatic, but like how he says it, it's just fucking hilarious, dude. I love that guy. He's a phenomenal wrestler too, or was. I guess.
Yeah, no, he's built to wrestle, man.
Oh, 100%.
That dude's stacked.
Have you seen him wrestle?
No, I don't feel like no, I have actually. I saw a couple videos on Facebook, and he basically just pile drive these kids.
Dude, he is and he's fast too. Like he's a big dude who's fucking fast. I was like, dude, and I was looking at other videos of guys his size, and I was like, they're not moving as fast as you.
Like, it's over.
He's a little slow. He's a tank, I guess. But like talking to people, man, is like it's so important, and it's also like you look at politics or it's just anything you could disagree on. If I sat here and disagreed with you, we could be like, okay, this is how I feel, talk it out. Instead of being like just fucking frustrated,
dude,
and pissed
this
off,
cancel culture, man. Fuck this Okay, this is what politics are relative for. You have two different kinds of people. You both share different ideas. If we're not able to come together and talk about these ideas, whether you agree about them or not, then how are we going to find a resolution that meets in the middle and makes most people happy?
100%.
You just, oh man, everybody's like, no, you don't, like, God, what's something that's like people get offended about? I don't know.
Abortion.
Yeah, abortion. Well, I don't believe in abortion. Maybe you believe in abortion or something like that, or fucking. Yeah. It's like, well, you should, man. It's a woman's right. It's like, okay, we can have that talk, but are you willing to have that talk?
Right.
Yeah.
Are you willing to have that talk?
Well, I will. I'll upset a lot of people though, because I'm gonna tell people straight up, man. The way I look at abortion is, this is how I look at it too. So I don't think it's a woman's right to do it, and this is why. If you robbed a liquor store, are you going to jail?
If you get caught.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that's perfect. If you have sex without a contraceptive, which is the number one known way to procreate a child, and you get fucking pregnant, are you gonna have a baby? 100%. People just have a problem with the responsibility aspect of it, so that's a cheap way out for them.
Right. What if two people are like, well, like, okay, take the woman's choice out of it. If both people are like, well, I don't really want to have this kid.
Yeah.
You would say still no to that.
I mean, I just the way I look at it, the way I looked at it when I had my daughter,
right?
It was like,
you have a different perspective, right?
Well, did I pull out? No. Okay, I should probably go ahead and take care of this.
Yeah, because it's my problem.
It takes, and you know what? Because for me, it's like there's one way to make a baby. It's consensual. There are ways to protect yourself from making that child.
Right.
If you didn't take the preventative measures, the only reason you want an abortion is because you're afraid of the responsibility that's going to follow it.
100%. Well, I'm afraid of the responsibility.
Dude, and you know what? And guess what? The world we live in, regardless of what I believe, that's totally your right to do.
Right, 100%. And see, and that's another thing is like, I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, just fucking go ahead and get abortions. Like, I mean, I'm okay with it because I don't give a shit what you do. But that's the other thing. I'm not sitting here holding picket signs like saying I'm for it or against it. Yeah. And neither are you. But you're like, dude, I'm not gonna do it. Well, that's another thing. It's like, why can't? Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Whatever, do you, dude? Like, why can't it just be like that? It always has to be like, oh, I'm vegan. You can't because it kills animals. You have to be vegan.
Exactly.
Why can't there just be people like, nah, dude, I'm vegan because I'm fucking,
No, man. Like that's what I tell people is like, don't have this conversation if you're not ready to hear my ideas. Because number one, I'm gonna make you upset because you know I'm right. But number two,
right.
I don't fucking care what you do, man.
Right. It's
like,
just kind of leave everyone
what
alone.
you do, what's available to you does not affect me in any way.
Right.
I'm just telling you how I think.
Right.
And that we need more of that because now people are like, well, since he just said that,
right.
I have an issue with it.
Right. Exactly. And it's always, dude.
He doesn't know what it's like.
He doesn't know what it's like to have a direction. Like even before that, I kind of see it on the right of like not canceling, but you see it way far more on the left. There's like cancel culture.
Well, and now that you have cancel culture on one side, you're gonna have cancel culture on the other side. They're just gonna follow each other because it's a constant battle. Right. The fact that we're out of just proportions on it is just that's what's gonna cause this extremism. And a lot of this, I'm okay with a couple things with cancel culture on really extreme topics.
Right, like
but there's some things that
I understand, right?
Yeah, there's some things that should just not happen because they're just fundamentally not great for anybody.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing. It's like okay, it's okay to cancel Kevin Spacey, right? But if you're gonna cancel Kevin Hart for saying, "Hey, stop, that's gay," like 10 years ago,
that was funny shit.
Yeah, that was a funny ass joke. Like he wasn't trying to hurt anybody, dude. And I had this fucking.
And he was reeling another kid in the butt. That's a gay action. I mean, that's the truth. And he doesn't want his child to be gay because he grew up in an environment where that wasn't exactly acceptable.
Right.
You can't penalize the guy for that. And then anybody who's penalizing for it that was in the crowd laughing, dude, take it to the shut up.
Yeah, you were laughing. That's another thing. Is like no one was hurt. No, dude,
that was the funniest stand-up act for 10 years.
I know, everyone was saying it. I remember when everyone was like, "Hey, stop, that's gay," and it's crazy.
Yeah,
and then to make him apologize on a documentary for 5 episodes, I'm like, Jesus Christ, Netflix.
Yeah, no, just because one person saw it and said that hurts my feelings.
Right.
This is disrespectful.
Every fucking buddy's gonna get offended at some point, so you might as well just say fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. What do you think about vegan gains? Now that I
vegan gains, dude! Oh my god, I got into it with vegan gains on YouTube one time.
I didn't know there was a vegan gains. I just am talking generally about vegan gains.
Oh, I thought you meant the dude.
Is there really? Oh yeah, there is a guy.
Yeah, man, he's
gains.
nuts.
Isn't he really skinny and fucked? I can't remember.
Yes, he was horrible. He did a bunch of natty or not videos, and I made fun of him one time when he argued with me on social media. It said he was gonna stab me or something. And I was like, oh yeah, bet, try, let's go.
That's funny. I didn't know that was. Is that to do with the green hair and shit?
No, he's some mixed guy, man.
Oh.
Just that gets on and just talks
buff
shit.
As fuck, or?
No, he's tiny.
Yeah.
He looks like fucking.
Vegan.
Yeah, I mean he's built like Gumby, just straight arms, straight legs, no muscles. But that's just his thing. Right. He just gets on, talks shit on people, and gets famous for it.
Yeah. Do you think? Because I know I don't know if you know the same guy. I know one guy who's vegan. I don't know how vegan he is, but he's pretty fucking jacked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I mean, coming back to real life, not one person, actual vegan gains.
Yeah, we're talking about
The way I'm gonna put this is that there's no athletes that have won a world championship in anything and been vegan.
Right. You have no fucking energy, dude.
Dude.
Fuck that.
Did you watch that documentary they did on Netflix about being vegan?
No, but you know what pissed me off? What pissed me off was, wait, is it the one bashing it or for it?
For it.
Okay. I was working out with this guy, and he'd come in, when I worked out at the community center, he'd come in and work out every now and then with me. He's like, dude, I'm wondering why. And I heard another person say it. You go, I think I'll be vegan now because I watched this documentary, it really changed the way I thought. I said, I guarantee you, 100%, the documentary is bullshit, and they probably pulled all of it out of their ass, or they probably found a way to scare you. You know what I mean? They probably pivoted it.
If people don't think on these documentaries that they're picking, they're hand cherry picking, for every test that they do. There was just one of this documentary, it cracked me the fuck up. They said, hey man, you eat plant-based, you're going to get a harder erection, right? And all these dudes at nighttime ended up magically doing it. How many people do you think they actually tested before cherry-picking this one fucking test that resulted in a positive manner?
Right, no kidding. Well, it's just like that one, I know one guy who's vegan and jacked. Everyone else who's vegan is usually some fucking chick in my community center.
Oh, you talking about Dante?
Maybe short black dude, buff as fuck.
Yeah, Twisties.
Yeah, him. Man. I know him. He's fucking jacked, dude.
He's cool. He's a freak.
He is cool.
His
is
arms
a freak,
are just huge.
And he works out for hours and hours without end. I remember we used to come in and he'd leave 5 hours later, and he's just fucking jacked. And
That's
he's
insane.
dude. He's a beast too, dude. But see, could see a documentary taking him, right? Being
Yeah.
like, see what happens when you're vegan. It's like, no.
Exactly. And
Right.
he ate meat for how many years? Like.
Right. No kidding. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, get out of here, dude. Yeah. And you don't know the other aspects of what he's doing, so it's like, yeah. But yeah, I would always have those people who like are in my class. Well, I'm actually vegan, just eating fucking. I guess they can't eat gummy bears because gelatin. Eating fucking Reese's. Like, it's a healthier lifestyle. I'm like, oh yeah, you're real fucking healthy. Eating a whole bag of Reese's there.
Best thing ever when I was in high school, and this is when I went to Ventura High in Ventura, California. Like I said, there's a lot of progressives out there, man.
God, no kidding.
And this lady said she was vegan, and while she was eating a fucking Oreo, so it's like I called her out, and I was like, you know that's made of animal fat, right? And she lost it, dude.
Did she?
She lost it.
Did she go off on you? Did she spit it out?
She like threw the Oreo at me and it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, it says right there on the package.
Yeah, Google this. Look, Oreos and right there.
Dude, she was so mad for like 2 weeks.
That is
She'd
the exact
come
cow
in,
it came from.
like she'd wear dark clothes, hooded up, and just sit in her corner. And I'm like, man, they weren't ready for these Kansas boys.
Yeah, they're not ready for this shit yet. Dude, okay, I will say, I would like to try, and I've tried it every time I've failed because I just like you said, it's like not enjoyable. Is the carnivore diet?
Joe Rogan did it.
Yeah, Joe Rogan did it, and he got pretty. I mean, he's jacked in general, but like he got, like he said, he lost like 15 pounds or whatever. And I know some people that are like that do it and they like it, but I don't know, dude. I love meat. Like I'm a meat eater all the way,
That's
but
what
like.
she said. No.
Well, no. But here's the. I love meat. Girthy. But like, I don't know, dude. Every time I try it, it's just like fuck this. I don't know.
Dude, how do you eat that much meat? Like, I gotta have some like rice or something.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like, dude, I feel like I could lose the same amount of weight. Like if I said, okay, I'm just gonna eat rice and chicken, broccoli, steak and chicken, broccoli for a whole month, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna be the same, but like, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe if I didn't know carbs, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have chicken and steak together and fucking just eat some bacon with it and just do that every day. Maybe I'll get. I don't know. Like I really want to. Like I want to so bad, but I can't. And it's not even just like, oh, I'm gonna try it to lose weight. Like I just want to do it to say, like, feel I can do. You know what I mean? Know I can do it and try it. Because like he said, I feel like I had a crazy ton of energy.
Oh yeah, no, I bet you like this one guy knows doing it, man, and God bless his soul. He says a lot of the energy you get is from those organ meats, man, like livers and like kidneys, and like beef hearts. And I'm like, I can't.
Well, those are kind of fatty, aren't they? Or are they lean?
I don't know. I have no desire to eat those because when he's up there on IG story flipping them, and I'm like, that looks like beef fucking jerky before you even cooked it, dog. Like I just know that what the smell that's coming off of that pan in that man's house will deter any amount of pussy he will ever get for the rest of his life. Like,
dude, yeah, that's fucking. I don't know, dude. There's like probably. I don't want to say that's what she said again. There's probably nothing I want to eat. I'll fucking eat. I'll eat a lot of things. Gorilla balls. I'll eat gorilla balls.
I've never tried gorilla balls. I don't know if I'm down.
I don't know if it's a real thing. I know that people eat like goat balls and shit.
Yeah, see, I'm not down with that. And it's not because they're balls, you know. It's just because like,
it's not because they're balls.
I just don't feel like the consistency. Like I would feel right. You know? I just feel like if
balls,
like bro, like I
like to try deer heart. Our deer heart's pretty good. I like deer in general. Deer is fucking venison is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my family's we've got a pretty large farm. We own basically the county up off the Iowa border. And we dude, venison meat's the shit. We eat it all year round.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's how you get lean right there, dude. I'm like, fucking venison is the shit. I like, although I do like the fucking deer sausage with fucking cheese in the middle and shit.
Yeah,
like
sure.
that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but dude, how do you not like that?
Yeah.
Like if you don't, like you're just not normal.
Well, here's the thing: is like, dude, people just fucking, especially chicks, will be like, "Oh, I can't eat deer meat." Blah. Like, what the fuck? So, dude, you wouldn't even tell. Like, I guess you could tell the difference, but I was like, dude, if I gave you this, you would think it's salami.
Yeah, no. People who say that they can't eat like a deer steak, those are the same people ordering a well done steak at a steakhouse. Like,
Right, exactly.
dude, nobody cares.
Which I don't like well done. I like my shit ruined, man.
I know. I order rare.
Yeah, for sure. That's where all the flavor is, man.
Yes.
I don't get it, dude. I don't know. A lot of my Hispanic friends like fucking. They like their steak like all the way cooked.
See, man, and
I get it because like if I'm eating a taco or like anything like
Yeah.
like Mexican food related, I don't want my meat to be like rare because
No,
it just doesn't
yeah.
taste good. It's better done.
well, and I got like a lot of experience in that culture.
Right.
Yes, I'm.
Yeah,
young.
you no we.
My ex-wife from Mexico. She moved
Right,
here when she was
right.
19. I lived that life, and a lot of it is, she's never even tried medium rare steak until I was with her, and she
Really?
enjoyed it. But the way she eats her carne asada, she thought that's how regular steak should be.
Right.
And she's
Right.
putting fucking ketchup on her steak, dude.
Really.
Like, and I'm like, something's wrong with this. We have to change this fundamentally. And so we did. But there's a lot of weird things. Like they put ketchup on pizza,
Really.
which actually does not taste that bad.
I like ranch on pizza. That shit's pretty good.
Yeah, ranch with pizza's not bad, man. Oh, you like pizza though?
Fuck yeah.
You need to try Leone Original Pizza right off of College in Antioch.
College in Antioch.
It's
I wrecked my car there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, dude.
Bad. Oh, well, I'll drive you.
I was gonna say I don't know if I want to drive.
Dude,
no, I'll go over there.
Yeah, it's like it's part of the original pizza chain, but the guy, his last name's Leone, obviously. He's from Sicily, and he makes all his own stuff, dude. It's
Right. It's
fire.
like thin fucking what is it?
Just big New York style pizza with all these great ingredients, like true Sicilian style pizza. Ooh.
Right.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like it. I love food, man. I fucking love food. Man. Yeah. So like what else? Like you said, you're really like familiar with that culture, right?
Yeah.
Like well, I guess being in California, probably a lot of people you know and shit like that, or a lot of friends, a lot of family maybe.
Yeah, no, you just live it, you blend in, you know.
And you said your dad's a drug lord as well.
Oh yeah, dude, he moved a lot of weight, and he still to this day tries to tell me he did. That's why I'm toxic. But we used to in California, man. We used to have this place called 4th Street Market, and where I lived, like it was very like Hispanic integrated, primarily Mexican. That's just the culture that happened to be there, and so I'd go with my friends to this 4th Street Market to buy carne asada for dinner, bro. You'd walk in, like no English, you order it, and they bring you out all this carne asada soaking in a Walmart bag of blood, basically, with all those spices and everything in there, and hand to you. And that was the best food ever.
That's so good. I love like down here. I don't know how good it is compared to like California, but like I really do like Kansas City street tacos, like Bonito Michoacan, Taco on Wheels.
Well, see, those aren't bad, man.
Yeah, they're not bad. What's it called? El Camino Real Dos. I
Yeah.
like El Camino Real Dos. That's pretty good. I like San Antonio's. I feel like isn't greasy enough for me, but it's still pretty good. I still
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, no, those are the places I used to go with my ex-wife that she'd want to go to when she wanted like Mexican food and feel like she was at
Right.
home. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, that shit's really good. Yeah, I talked to some of my friends and shit. They're like, well, it always depends on like where they're from.
You know what you
Oh,
need?
that's
You
good.
need to get yourself a Latin girl, bro.
Yeah, I've had that girls before.
You need to like just find a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, homemakers.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you have right now?
Oh no, my girl's mixed.
Oh, your girl's mixed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Daughter, and my lady are mixed.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not. I've never really been a fan of white girls for some reason.
Fuck no, snow bunnies are overrated, man.
Yeah, I'm white, so I guess maybe that's why. I don't know. But
No,
I
it's
always liked
like-
black and Hispanic girls. That's it.
Dude, I feel like, and I'm gonna say this, like, cause it's not a very conservative view, but like, hey, we don't have a lot of culture, man. There's not a lot of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take a bite out of something else, I just find them more attractive too. I feel like white people are the same. Like, you got blonde hair, blue eyes, and what else you fucking get out of it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even. Well, okay. So my family, I mean, part of my family's kind of like that white trash. I don't like saying that because they're probably watching. They might get mad, but it's being honest. And then there's the other that's not, But whatever. We'll pass that.
But the question is, which is which?
Oh yeah, we're not saying that. But I will say, like where my dad's from. Like my dad, he's from the hood when he was like, because my dad's 60, so like he's from the hood, but like back in the day, like old time, and he lived in an Italian neighborhood. So like, like the way he acts and shit like that, I'm like,
fucking full greed.
Yeah, you would think he's a Guido. I'm like I said, he's short and stocky, black hair. I mean, he has no hair anymore, but like he's very dark complected. But like, dude, like in like the way he is, dude, he can cook. He's fucking just from where he's from. Like he's from Kansas City, Missouri, the part that was Italian back in the day, and it's still. I think it's nice now, but back in the day it was like terrible. Like, and it's cool having an old dad. I don't know how old your pops is.
They're about 60.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool hearing the stories of like back in the day, because like he told me like, dude, I remember when Martin Luther King was shot. I remember the riots. Like I remember for 3 days not being in school and like looking outside and just seeing people shoot each other, like just crazy shit like that. You know what I mean? Like and like seeing he watched Kennedy get shot on fucking TV and shit like that. So
dang, man, I get all my stuff on Facebook now.
Yeah. Dude, that guy, I'll tell you, I love my dad. He watches a lot of my stuff, but dude, that guy should not have a Facebook. He has like 6 different fucking Facebooks because he can't remember his password. They're all his old like bodybuilding picture from like the 80s.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, you don't like you need to update it.
You know what you should do, man? So when you start talking to him, just trip him out, man. When you don't call him like bro or anything, call him Road. Like Rhode Island Road. It's like an old Sicilian slang term for like homie kind of thing. Yeah.
Hey, Road. I want to try that. I wonder if he'll know. He'll probably know. But oh, Ma.
What's up? You're good.
How you doing, Ma? This is Micah.
Guest appearance.
Yeah, guest appearance.
How's it going? Nice to meet you.
I'm not supposed to interrupt. He yelled at me the other day when I was at work.
Mom, meatloaf.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Mom,
I'm
meatloaf.
doing a podcast. Don't interrupt. I'm like, okay, can I? So.
Got you. No, yeah, for sure. But no, I get exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Shit. Like I never really been. I don't know. It's always been black girls and Hispanic girls for some reason.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's not anything wrong. Plus, you got the like you like Bill Burr.
Yeah, he's hilarious, man.
Did you see what he was talking about on SNL, his monologue?
I know. No,
Dude, it's fucking, you gotta watch it, because it was hilarious, because he goes on there, and he's like, I don't get how oppressed you white women are now, in your fucking SUV.
Yes, dude, I saw, actually, I did
He's like, you crossed over the line. He's like, the woke movement was so good. It was about people of color, people who were oppressed, progression, and then you fucking bitches want to step over the line of oppression. You rolled in our fucking toxic white male masculinity for years. You rolled in the blood for years. Like, he just goes off, and it's just fucking hilarious.
Dude, it's like, so what I'm noticing is these leftist comedians, like, because he said himself, he would originally identified that way.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't know because it's so extreme. My buddy, have you ever watched Jim Jeffries?
Yeah.
Same way, man. His last stand-up act, because this dude was full-blown Republicans are retards until just recently. He gets on, he's like, I want to talk about you fucking, like, millennials, okay?
Right.
You guys all think you're so fucking important. I want to tell you, yes, you're the most progressive generation that's ever lived. But you know what the last generation was? The most fucking progressive generation that's ever lived. You're not special.
Right.
Like, chill out.
Right, exactly, dude. Yeah, it's kind of wild with that politically, because I was raised in like, a more Republican family. But I feel like I'm pretty moderate. I think policy-wise, I might lean to the right a little bit.
Yeah.
But, and plus, dude, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, when you go to the gym and you meet people, most people, if you like, hear the political standpoint, they're always on the right. I've noticed, for the most part.
Here's what I like about that is the more impressive people at the gym are on the right, because they don't make excuses for themselves. Number one,
Yeah, exactly.
they know that they're not going to be handed down, any of the results. Number
Right.
two, um, and they've applied the things they've learned in life to the gym or from the gym to life, and that's
Right.
so they're successful in both areas.
Right.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah, 100%. And I've had that exact sentence,
Yeah.
whatever thought in my head before, versus like there's the vegan bros that are on the left. Right?
Yeah, man. It's always like when you. This is what I love about when you go in the gym. If you want to really distinguish, like, and you may not be right all the time, but give yourself a really good chance of who's on what stance. Right. The skinnier people, the less impressive people are going to be the leftists because they don't understand what the hard work means, man.
Right.
I'm not a socialist by any means either. Like, I can't go with the whole I need to be handed stuff. I just drive me fucking nuts, man.
That's the crazy thing is like, what was it? I don't know, because I love Rogan. I mean, dude, I watched Rogan since I was like 15.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I even liked him before I even knew he had a podcast, like with his comedy.
Yeah.
So, in watching watching a guy who like Rogan says he's left, but he's really not.
Yeah.
And he's very for one, he's very dead in the middle. And I remember kind of being a part of like a Republican family, then changing my views as I got older. And I'd watch Rogan, I'm like, dude, I'm really aligned with this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like unbiased. You're not married to your ideas. You're like, okay, it could be this way, it could be that way. But what was I gonna say was like there was something you talking about the socialist. There's something about I don't know if it was socialism or communism. I think it was socialism, which is like pretty similar, right? I guess I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you go socialist, eventually you're communist. It's just generally how it trends.
Right. That's how it transitions, right? But what's it called? Like, I think someone, I don't know if it was the Whole Foods guy who was on there like last, or if it was like a couple guys before. They were like, they tried it in like 2016. Like 42 different countries tried socialism, and all of them failed. Like,
it just doesn't work. Like,
because you have people that are gonna fuck off.
Economic progression comes from new technologies and new ideas being built, and like new products being offered that people want to buy.
Right.
But if you take the people that make these things and you say, hey, I'm going to tax you more or I'm going to give you the same amount of money, then there's no incentive for them to employ the people that are going to build these new products. So then you have an everlasting standstill in technology, and then, I mean, at that point, your economy dies because no one wants to buy anything.
Right, 100%. Dude, you also see a lot of these, like, okay, so we got the whole California leaving to go to Texas, like, the blue state leaving for a red state. Then you got, like, people leaving New York, well, all because of this pandemic. But also, dude, you got, like, I know people from Illinois that are like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other states that, like, people aren't even talking about, they're leaving just because, like, not even just because of, well, like, you also got, like, the old COVID thing, which is, like, people are, like, even if you're on the left or right or whatever, or maybe you were on the left from, like, 10 years ago, the left 10 years ago is way different than now, right? And they're like, I don't really agree with, like, I have to pay fucking this much for gas, I have to pay my ass out of taxes, right? Then you got, like, the governor being like, oh, no, we'll let these riots and shit happen.
Dude, and like you said, a lot of those more densely populated areas, dude, there's so many, there's like people in the streets of New York laying down their face masks and lighting them on fire.
Right.
Like, people are, and I'm not talking one face, I'm talking like thousands of face masks being lit on fire in the streets.
I saw
and no one's reporting this shit. Or if they are, it's getting covered up. And then you go to, like, on Twitter, and, like, what, Governor Cuomo, or what, now, who's the governor in, like, California?
I don't know, but
somebody,
I know, he got caught at some fucking house party or
he
whatever.
posted on Twitter, it's National Small Business Day. Go support a small business. And every chain in that comment chain, or every comment in that chain, they were saying, well, which ones you want us to support? You shut them all fucking down.
Right, no shit.
Like I'm out of business because of you, motherfucker.
Right, yeah.
And these are people that, like, were very progressive that are now like, this is just too much.
Right. Dude, I'm kind of like, I'm not glad something has happened, but I'm glad something has happened because it almost seems like a lot of people from the left, which, dude, like I said, when I was a kid, I mean, like, mainly Republican, but, like, I'd have friends that were like even Democratic families, I guess.
Yeah.
But they were never like that. You know what I mean? Like, way far to the left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to be like, oh, well, they're normal. Like, you know, there's the general, like, we're in the middle, but we just lean a certain way. And, I mean, dude, now, like, all these people from the left are like, nah, fuck this bullshit. Like,
yeah, like Bernie Sanders ass motherfuckers. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like, I'm done with this whole fucking, overly progressive bullshit that it makes no sense. Like, dude, I've gotten so many arguments with people, and there's just one guy I used to work with. I want to have him on here. I love the guy, but we argue all the time.
Dude, I'll come on for it too, man. I love debating people.
Fuck yeah, dude. Because
let's get Nick Carson on too at the same time.
Dude, I'm down. I'm down for that, dude. Whenever.
We do need a couple more liberals or libertarian more views though. We can't have like 4 people destroying one.
Well, like I said, I say I'm more libertarian because like I get. I mean, like I said, I'm pretty in the middle. Like, but there's certain things that I'm like, okay, I want to write with. Socially, I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm pretty left. Like, I guess socially, so I guess that makes me libertarian.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like I said, like me being a libertarian, like a lot of the left is bullshit. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I see a lot on the right that I think is bullshit, and I call it out too.
There's a lot of bullshit, yeah, man.
But no, yeah. That being said, like what's it called? With people, you know, like Elon Musk even said, he's like the middle is like you're losing the left. Like the middle is going to the right. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, dude. I don't know. So what do you think? You think a lot of people from the right think that Trump actually won? What do you think?
Man, you know, personally, all right. How do I say this? Out of the 2 people that ran, I was definitely not going to vote for the guy who can't put a sentence together and is going to die in 6 months, being Joe Biden. I was not going to fucking vote.
Right.
Dude's a moron.
Understandable.
The Obama administration crippled the country, crippled the economy. Like,
right.
Literally, it took COVID-19 for us to go back to the level of economics like that we had during that era. So yes, I was voting for President Trump. Now, when he lost, did I think it was fixed? Absolutely not. I was not one of those people that's like, no, I was like, you know what? You guys won. That's totally cool with me. Am I concerned about policy? Yes, but it happened, right? And then evidence came out that every single machine that counted the votes was connected to an Ethernet cable, which is completely illegal. I mean, and now I'm kind of curious. I was going to let it go beforehand, but now that I know that every machine that counted these votes was connected to the internet, like basically Wi-Fi without a password, it's kind of fucking weird. Like, there's no way that somebody would let that happen unless somebody wanted it to happen. Now, am I still going to complain? No. I'm not going to get up and say everybody's a cheater. Like, I don't know. That's not my job.
Right. That's another thing is, like, we don't know. And that's the thing I don't know enough about to even comment on it. But, like, obviously, like, I didn't vote, okay? But I have said this before. People can get mad all they want. But I would have taken Trump over Biden. That doesn't mean I fucking love Trump. Or, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, the guy who can actually put a sentence together versus can't, that's who I would take over, you know, him. However, like, it's not like I really didn't want either one of them, so that's why I didn't vote. That's why I chose not to vote. People were like, yeah, you gotta vote. Whatever. But, no. I don't know, dude. I'm curious to look into it, but I obviously was like, I mean, I'll right away, I was like, dude, it's not, there's always fraud. You know what I mean? There's always fraud.
Every election.
Right, so I was like, Biden won. Don't fucking complain about it, whatever. But yeah, like you said, then I hear, like, different evidence, and I'm like, I'm curious about it. I'm like,
well, you know, and it's...
Because I really thought that Trump had it in the bag, just like I thought Hillary had it in the bag
That's the exact same way I was thinking, because I had more people that I expected to vote for Joe Biden not vote for Joe Biden than I ever thought in my fucking life.
Really?
And I'm like, this is weird. I'm hearing... I mean, I got people I went to school with in California saying they're voting for Trump. I mean, because I know a lot of people, and I'm like, okay, these are people I definitely wouldn't expect to vote this way.
Right.
And then it's a landslide.
Right.
I don't really I don't believe it was a landslide. I believe they campaigned the right way, in the sense that Trump's not a very good social representative of our country. Like, he says a lot of dumb shit.
Right.
But
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, dude. He died like a dog. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. Dude, that's what I am gonna miss is like his bullshit.
He'll still be on Twitter, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
He'll be on there for 4 years.
Dude, I wonder if he opens up his own news.
That would be legit. I would watch that.
Because think of it, his whole thing is fake news. He wants to report like what he wants. Dude, something I was talking to someone who is on the left who did vote for Joe Biden. He's one of my closest friends. He was saying like, dude, I think that Trump is gonna like do something really like this isn't the last
he's like some Trump. Guy who's got he's going down personal vendetta.
Yeah, 100%. Well, dude, if you watch because I watch like every documentary. If you watch the Trump documentary, because he was the one guy who was pushing for Obama's birth certificate, like it was mainly Trump.
Yeah.
Who was pushing back in the day, and it was kind of funny watching this documentary because Obama said like, well, now that he knew Trump was in the fucking in the building, right? Yeah. And he said, well, I don't know if you ever seen it, but he's like, well, now that we got the birth certificate thing out of the way, and Trump was just fucking pissed and left, and then everyone who knew Trump was like, yeah, I think that was the night that he was for sure he was gonna run next.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking win.
Right, and dude, it was so funny because it shows like his car driving away and just him pissed off. They like dramatized it. They put like this like fucking music, like pumped up music behind it. I was dying.
He left after losing to fucking Mr. T like Rocky 3, man.
Yeah,
he came back
100%. Well, or remember when he fucking bombed that country and then like he posted a picture of like him on Rocky on Instagram. I was like, dude, this is
what
fucking
our president, bro. Man. What a savage.
Dude, it was wild, man, having him as a president. But
that was, oh man, for the whole world to see.
Right. I wonder. I don't know, dude. I wonder what he does next. I'm really curious. I don't know.
We'll see, man. I'm sure Ben Shapiro will report on it. He likes to catch that flag.
Yeah, he does, dude.
You hear Ben Shapiro's probably running 2024, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you vote for Ben Shapiro?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
I wouldn't even think about it.
I don't like. He is a really smart guy. Like I've seen him on Rogan and stuff, but I don't really watch his stuff enough to like. I don't know.
There's some stuff that
he is a funny ass dude. He's funny.
Yeah, he's a troll, man, and there's some stuff that he definitely thinks that a lot of people won't agree with, but he's also quick to say that that's just part of his religion. He's not going to force it on other people. He just has a lot of good free market ideas. He's very conservative in terms of capitalism, like huge about capitalism.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff he says, he breaks it down to the context of like, hey man, this is just the data, and this is just what makes sense.
He can never talk normal. He's like, okay, like it's like a robot. Like, he's he's breaking everything down. Is there anyone on the left that you'd ever vote for? Tulsi Gabbard.
I would have to hear their views on policy.
Right.
I don't watch a lot of TV or YouTube or anything, so it's hard for me to kind of get that. The way I think about it, don't force socialism. Don't raise my taxes. Everybody love everybody.
Right.
Like, don't hate somebody because they're transgender, because they're black, because they don't look like you. That's never acceptable.
Right.
But give everybody the same opportunities to make $1 million in their lifetime as everybody else.
Right. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like those are just human ideas. Like those are just generally, I think, what everyone wants, right?
Yeah.
But it's always like if you're on the right, you have to line up with these, or you're on the left, you have to line up. It's like it's not really like that.
No, man. Yeah. It's for me. I associate with the right for just very few reasons. Economy's priority.
Right. 100%.
Because I'm a very driven individual. I am kind of successful. I'm not saying I'm wildly successful, but I'm to the point where I can see that light at the end of the tunnel, and I started living in my fucking car.
100%.
Like, I lived in my fucking two-door Honda Civic, and now I can give my baby girl a life that I didn't have growing up.
Right.
And I don't want that to be jeopardized just because some people feel like they should get a handout after I was in their shoes and I made something out of it.
Right. Right. Well, yeah, and plus you got someone like you who's fucking, bodybuilding at 18.
Yeah.
Really, I've met some people in that category, but very few. Like you and maybe a couple other people. Who, one dude, I was like, dude, you're fucking 18. I was like, looking at the dude, I was like, no way. But when I first met you, I did not know you were my age at all. So it was like,
yeah.
I mean, I mean, you have that drive to you, and there's like the go-getters in the world, and then there's like you said, there's the people who want that handout, and it's like, well, for example, your daughter, like, you don't want to sacrifice the life that you're trying to give her that you didn't have for them, you know, and obviously there's people who need help, like, you know, I fucking for college I had to because I had to take sociology, I took it, and God, I hated my teacher. He was an Antifa dude, and he was fucking hilarious because of how animated he was, you know.
Uh-huh.
But like, I disagreed on everything he said, and he all he talked about was how much he hated America. I'm like, bro, first off, you hated that much. Why are you here?
Dude, and you know what? That same guy who hates America has experienced every little bit of success living off of the American system.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so it doesn't like you're a professor here in America. Like, you hate it so much. Why are you here? You know?
Yeah, ask him what kind of car he drives.
Right.
You know, okay, that's because you live in America.
Right.
Like, let's be real.
100%. And yeah, he gets to do something that he loves because he's an American. You know, and he's one of those to sit there. Well, if I went somewhere else, I would. I was like, okay, then go there. Like,
see, that's not totally true either.
Right.
You know, you move somewhere else. I mean, the opportunities might not be the same, right? The freedom might not be the same. The job market for what you want to do might not be the same.
Right.
There are some countries that literally pre-decide what you're going to be for you at birth.
100%.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's the thing. I argued with him. I was like, well, dude, like, you think that, like, you literally think that this is like the worst country ever, but it's like, it's totally not. I was like, what? Like, we went into it. And I don't even, like, I do remember, but I don't even want to get into details about it. But
oh, he would kick me out, man.
Yeah. No, I went off, and I remember everyone agreed with me. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but no, for that class I had to like help out a homeless shelter, and it was like it's crazy like seeing people who, like, you know, there was the good and the bad to it because you see the people who definitely they maybe had they're born with a mental problem.
Yeah.
Or they're born addicted to drugs, or they're just like in a shit. I mean, we were off Prospect, and dude, it was a bad part of town. These people, they did not want to be addicted to drugs. They did not want to be living the life they lived. I'd say honestly, about 30-40% of them were like that. The rest, dude, were like arguing, and maybe they I could categorize them in that. But like, dude, this girl, this sweet old lady who helps him out, moved his phone, his $500 phone, right? That apparently he can't afford anything else, but he could afford an iPhone, right?
Exactly.
So she moves his phone and his charger so that way other people can eat. He gets up, starts fucking acting a fool, getting pissed off, and I was like, dude, am I gonna have to knock this guy out? Because he was about to get in her face, but he didn't, and he walked off. And they eventually kicked him out. But like, dude, this guy's like methed out and fucking just like, you know, eating for free here, and not even appreciate the sweet old lady just because he moved his stuff. He's like, move my fucking stuff off.
See,
dude,
that's
fuck you.
That's why I have a thing with handouts, because as soon as it becomes a handout and it's consistent and people feel like they're owed that, they're no longer appreciative of it because they don't have to work for it. So what is there to appreciate? You know it's going to be there tomorrow, and you can treat people however you want.
Right.
Homeless people, man, I live in a very large homeless community in Los Angeles.
Right.
A lot of people want to be there.
Right.
A lot of people born addicted to drugs. I'm addicted to cocaine, meth, and something else that I just decided never to take it. My dad just inherited that from him.
Right.
And I feel like the programs that we have in place, providing these free things for them, aren't necessarily the things that they need. Like, I feel like drug addiction, if you go into rehab, you come out, you feel great. Well, eventually you might relapse because you don't have anything to replace that want or need with. And we're not really setting up systems to teach people these things or help people find these hobbies or whatever, or things that they can put their focus into the same way they would their drug addiction.
Right.
And you just end up back in the same place.
Yeah, it's crazy because I had a family member who died of heroin, and like, dude, it was like helping her was like, dude, it's like she didn't want to be helped. You know what I mean? It was like, dude, and we did everything we could. We fucking, I mean, every fucking thing we could to get her straight.
No,
And
you
she
know,
died
like you
'cause,
gotta
like,
let them hit rock bottom. You
Yeah.
have to. And if
Yeah.
they die, like, I know it sounds bad, but that's not your fault.
Right.
Because a lot of those people, they want to go to that place,
100%.
and they will drag you down with them. I watched people get distributed a product for so long that created such a need and necessity for it that they would do anything. I've seen people suck dick for coke.
Right.
I've legitimately seen a prostitute suck dick for coke.
Right.
Like you can't help that person. The best thing you can do is try to get them into rehab if they will go, get the addiction broken, and then try to fill that void with something else that they can focus on.
Right.
Whether it be art, exercising, fucking entrepreneurship. Give them a project. Teach them
Right.
these things. So they
Keep
can
their mind
build.
distracted
Yeah, exactly.
From that, replace, because there's always that thing where it's like, I know there's a book about like addictions and habits. It's like, well, you can't get rid of them. You just got to replace them with something good. You know?
It's exactly right. I mean, I've seen so many people go into rehab, come right back out. The first thing they do, go back and suck dick for coke.
Right, exactly.
Because they don't, even though they don't have necessarily the issue anymore, it's not as prevalent. They don't know anything else,
Right.
and we're not providing routes to teach people things. We're just giving them other products that they really don't care about.
Right. Yeah.
That aren't gonna help.
It's so weird. It makes you wonder like what they're doing in rehab. I mean, it makes you like you say, like they give you opioids and shit to like tie you over and shit like that. But it's like, okay, well, and I get it. Like maybe you have to, so they don't fucking die of like withdrawals or something like that or whatever. But like at some point, it's like, dude, you gotta, like you said, we have to have a better system of something else, right?
Yeah.
Of teaching them something else. Yeah, and and also like is the people who are around them, because like her dad, I hate to say it, dude. Well, no, I don't hate to say it. He's fucking a big problem with feeding into her addiction. I mean, like a huge problem with feeding into her addiction. Like, giving her money. And, oh no, what's she gonna do with it? Well, what do you fucking think she's gonna do with the money? You know what I mean? And it's fucking, It's just fucking crazy. You just gotta cut it off.
No, yeah, no, I could never. But the thing is you don't really change until you grow up that way and see what you don't want people to do and learn
Right.
about that stuff. So maybe, shoot, man, I got some plans now.
Yeah.
Going.
There you go, dude.
Programs
Fuck
I can
yeah.
help with. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, and plus, like you said, you saw a lot of that.
Dude, no, I've
I'm
seen
sure
some
what you're.
fucked up shit.
I remember
man.
hearing something. I remember you were talking with someone about like the cartel and shit. You were telling me.
Oh, dude, my dad was right in there with Mexican Mafia.
Yeah, that's
right
fucking
in there.
crazy, dude.
Now I didn't associate, but the people that we had at my house, like they were, and when people say, "Oh no, he's a gangster," I mean, no, this dude was an assassin.
Right.
Like he was paid to kill people.
Right.
That's the whole level. Like when you looked into that man's eyes, man, it was like sheets of ice, just
Really.
cold, like nothing, no emotion, just cold.
Did he speak or anything like that?
Yeah,
to you?
man, it was. He had his eyes were blue, but there was a film right over the top, and he spoke. He talked normal. You could tell he had some feelings because he would do nice things for us, but only because my dad took care of him.
Right.
And it was out of respect. It wasn't out of, like joy or anything.
Right.
It was nuts. And then, like some things I saw, like this dude stole my dad's guitar, right? And there was a Les Paul custom, and my dad was huge about this guitar. He was freaking out. Well, he calls the same guy, called the Bulldog. This dude hunts the guy down, locates him, brings him into my living room, tied up, puts him in a chair, duct tapes him to the chair, and basically punches the dude in the same spot of his head, and like over and over and over until he tells him where the guitar's at. And the dude left with a fucking watermelon for a skull,
God
just
damn.
swelling, man.
That's fucking crazy.
Like that lifestyle, man. Shoot, that's half the reason I work so hard. I'm never going back.
Right.
Like I'm never going back.
But it's so like, do you appreciate it a little bit because of like the drive you have now? Like that's what created that drive.
Yeah, a lot of it too is, I heard my dad was the same way before he found like drugs as a way to utilize it. And I just, after seeing, hey, this this route's not the way to go. I can only put it somewhere else. And then on top of that, you have those memories. And like, because I don't even remember those things. Like, I don't even remember that I went through those things. Like, I forget about them a lot. But it's like a subconscious like thing at work where it's like I have to be better than everybody else.
Right.
Like I cannot live that way. It just won't happen.
Yeah, it's so crazy because everyone wants to be like gangster. Everyone wants like to have like the struggle, but it's like, dude, you don't know.
You don't, dude.
Yeah.
That realm when you get there, like half the people at North especially, man, because I went to school with a lot of people. They wanted to be someone like that.
Right, 100%.
You know, there were maybe 1-2 people that actually lived that life.
Because I going there, there'd always be people who I knew, and it's crazy because those people who lived that life,
they tell you didn't want that life.
right? And you couldn't even tell. Like one of my good buddies, like I went to his house, I was like, oh, "This is where you live?" He's like, "Yeah," but he didn't. I mean, he didn't appear to be like where he was from, and there's just so many like wannabes, like literally around this area, like where I live.
Man,
it's crazy.
You live in Merriam, Kansas. You live in Johnson County. Cut it out. You don't know what that stuff is like. Like seeing that stuff, man. You know, like watching the guy and knowing that he literally was hand beat to death and left in a fucking alley somewhere. Like that does something to you.
Right.
And like these people, none of them are capable of it. And then they want to be. And when they're put on the stand at that final point, they'll be the ones that were dead because they tried to be something they couldn't be.
Right.
Man, it's not for anybody who doesn't have some sort of realistically demon possessed soul kind of like situation.
Right.
It's weird stuff, man.
Yeah, this book by 50 Cent. This book I read. His last book was a fucking great book.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure you like to read and shit a lot. But dude, he speaks in it about, he's like, well, one thing, of course he had to mention Ja Rule because he always is beefing with Ja Rule, but he's like, you know, one thing I realized with guys like Ja Rule and 6ix9ine, they were from the outskirts of, you know, New York, like, you know, the Bronx and shit like that. They thought they lived that life, but really they're just on the outskirts getting like, you know, they got exposed to it, right? Which made them think like they know how it works, and that's exactly why they got in the situation they got. Both of them got it. They got screwed over both because they realized like they're not really about that life. They weren't raised in it. They don't know the whereabouts. They think they do because they're friends and maybe some family or like that. No, they weren't actually in that situation. Worked their way out.
Yeah, there's something totally different between someone like 6ix9ine and someone like Quando Rondo. Like there's there's a bridge of difference, man.
Right.
And I would not want to be on the other bridge. Like,
right.
No, dude. Those people are quick to fight about anything because that's all they ever know.
Yeah.
They're always told they're never going to be anything. They're always told it's someone else's fault and someone's controlling the system to force them into a level of poverty. So now at that point in time, they have to create an underground as a system to survive, and that creates a level of like it's beast-like mentality where everything's built on respect and just violence, and it's like obsessive. And man, I don't want to go back to that. Like ever. I'm not built for it. I can do enough to protect my family, but I couldn't live that life, man.
That life. Yeah, my stepdad he was one of those guys who was like always fighting all the time. He hung around people like that who were like involved with the wrong people who were always fucking like that's like you said, that's all they know. Like obviously it wasn't the level of like cartel shit, but like I knew people who were like really fucking. I mean, dude, they were breaded hood. They were breaded as badass bikers. Like they were breaded as people who fucking would go to bars every fucking night and get like they don't care if they get the shit beat out of them. Like they're just fucking crazy ass fucking people.
Yeah, man.
Like they don't give a fuck. And it's like people always want to be around that. And me being around like my stepdad, a guy who was like, you know, always wanted to fight with people, always were fucking people over, you know, selling things that shouldn't have sold, stealing shit and stuff like that. You know, it's like people like, you know, I want to be raised like this. Like, no, you don't understand. Having someone who's like, for example, my stepdad, he's always drunk all the time, wanting to fight everybody. You don't get being 11 years old, like getting into fights with other people who are like twice your size and older. They think you're like 16 because you're fat, you know. So they fight, so they beat your ass, or fighting with your stepdad who's a drunk asshole who beats the shit out of you. That shit is like it's fucking awful. I'm not saying like I'm traumatized by it because like clearly the level of what you've seen is like nowhere what I've seen, but like stuff like that, like if people like ask me about something like my stepdad and how shit was, the people he's around, the people I fought, or me fighting with him and shit like that, him just being drunk all the time, just holding him back from a fucking fist fight anywhere we went. Like I'm always on edge because I'm like, dude, he's about to fucking fight someone at any given moment. Like it is the most annoying, stressful fucking thing.
Yeah, no, man. And I like how you said that you don't think you're traumatized because I don't believe in trauma from those things.
Right.
I feel like there's one of two ways you can go with it. You can convince yourself that you're always going to be this way because you grew up in this environment and it's just going to be like basically imprinted on you the rest of your life, right? And you're just going to suffer.
Right.
Or you can be like, listen, I don't want to do this. This is my reason to get out. This is my reason to be something bigger than this situation. And the people that go the other route that say, hey, I'm just going to, this is what's happened to me, so I have an issue with me, they always end up in treatment. Something always happens to them, man.
Right, 100%.
I've seen, the first thing I did was my mom put me to a counselor when I escaped that situation. And every counselor I've seen just can't figure it out because there's nothing wrong with me.
Right.
It happened. I'm okay with what happened. I can't you can't change it, but you can make something better out of it for your future.
Right. Yeah, but that's good that you have that mentality of like I'm not gonna fall in these footsteps. Like like I'm not built for this. I'm built for something else. And you're gonna take like what you've seen and turn it into something good instead of taking it and maybe fucking being addicted to drugs or maybe being a fuck up.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I've seen the way people look strung out. Something else. Cracked lips, like skin doesn't even look the same. It looks like fucking Schmeagol out of Lord of the Rings, dude.
Right.
That's looking. I'm like, oh, that's not what I want to be when I grow up.
And I've only seen a couple people just fucking doped out of their mind, like family members on heroin and shit like that. Like, dude, to me, it was something else seeing it. I'm like just seeing like halfway falling asleep and like just the little they get the little dots right here. You know what I mean? They're real pale, overweight. Their arms are swollen because they're fucking needles in their arms. Like
ankles are blown out.
Yeah, it's like it's out of a movie, dude. It's like fucking crazy, man.
That's for sure, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, fuck. I'd love to keep going. I'm definitely gonna have you on more. The game's about to fucking start.
I gotta pee anyways.
Okay, hell yeah, dude. Thank you so much.
Hey, man.
Hell yeah,
Thank
dude.
You
want to give a shout out or anything? Instagram or something like that. Maybe?
If you want to follow me, it's at I Kinda Lift. I Kinda KINDA Lift. I'm always posting stuff on there. You guys are more than welcome to add me, message me, ask me any questions. But other than that, man, thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro.
Not a problem.
Hell yeah.